them on PDFs or hard copies of it. And so that's what we're going to do for now. And I think, I'm sorry, I'm just wanting to see if some of the other people PDFs or hard copies.
We're missing people.
And so that's what we're going to do.
Definitely
for now. And sorry, that's me broadcasting it and hearing myself. So anyways, I just wanted to get started with this. And so I just want to say, for the very first time in the very first season of the Instant Shakespeare Company, we did Antony and Cleopatra with 5 people. And as Missy is well aware, and as you were well aware, there are quite a number of characters here. And so I think that if you just, we'll just sort of dive into it and have fun with the text and share it with each other. And when you're not in the scene, mute yourself and turn off your video. All right. So I'll just start with a few choice stage directions, as in actus primus, scena prima. Enter Demetrius and Philo.
Nay, but this dotage of our generals o'erflows the measure. Those his goodly eyes that o'er the files and musters of the war have glowed like plated Mars, now bend, now turn. The office and devotion are of their view upon a tawny front. His captain's heart, which in the scuffles of great fights hath burst the buckles on his breast, reneges all temper, and has become the bellows and the fan to cool a gypsy's lust.
Flourish. Enter Antony, Cleopatra, her ladies, the train with eunuchs fanning her.
Look where they come. Take but good note, and you shall see in him the triple pillar of the world transformed into a strumpet's fool. Behold and see.
If it be love indeed, tell me how much.
There's beggary in the love that can be reckoned.
I'll set a born how fair to be beloved.
And thou must needs find out a new heaven, new earth.
Enter a messenger.
News, my good lord, from Rome.
Yeah, good lord, from Rome.
Grates me the sum.
Nay, hear them, Antony. Fulvia perchance is angry, or who knows, if the scarce-bearded Caesar have not sent his powerful mandate to you. Do this or this, take in that kingdom and enfranchise that, performed, or else we damn thee.
How, my love?
Perchance, nay, and most like, you must not stay here longer. Your dismission is come from Caesar. Therefore, hear it, Antony's where's Fulvius processi? Caesar's, I would say, both. Call in the messengers. As I am Egypt's queen, thou blushest, Antony, and that blood of thine is Caesar's homager, else to thy cheek pays shame, when shrilled-tongued Fulvius scolds. The messengers.
Let Rome in Tiber melt. Let the wide arch of the reigning empire fall. Here is my space. Kingdoms are clay. Our dungy earth alike feeds beast as man. The nobleness of life is to do thus. And when such a mutual pair and such a twain can do it, in which I bind one pain of punishment, the world to wait we stand up peerless.
Excellent falsehood. Why did he marry Fulvia and not love her? I'll seem the fool I am not. Anthony will be himself.
But stirred by Cleopatra. Now for the love of love and her soft hours, let's not confound the time with conference harsh. There's not a minute of our lives should stretch without some pleasure now. What sport tonight?
Here the ambassadors.
Fie, wrangling queen, whom everything becomes, to chide, to laugh, to weep, who every passion fully strives to make itself in thee fair and admired. No messenger but thine, and all alone tonight we'll wander through the streets and note the qualities of people. Come, my queen, last night you did desire it. Speak not to us.
Is Caesar with Antonius prize so slight?
Sir, sometimes, when he is not Antony, he comes too short of that great property which still should go with Antony.
I feel sorry that he approves the common liar, who thus speaks of him at Rome, but will hope of better deeds tomorrow. Rest you happy.
Exeunt Tenteram, Enobarbius, Lamprius, the soothsayer, Ranius, Lucilius, Iris, Mardian the eunuch, and Alexis.
Aye, Alexis, sweet Alexis, most anything Alexis, almost most absolute Alexis. Where's the soothsayer that you praise so to the queen? Oh, that I knew this husband, which you say must change his horns with garlands.
Soothsayer?
Alexis,
You're well.
is this the man? Is it you, sir, that knows things?
In nature's infinite book of secrecy, a little I can read.
Show him your hand. Bring in the banquet, quickly, wine enough, Cleopatra's health to drink.
Good sir, give me good fortune.
I make not, but foresee.
Pray then, foresee me one.
You shall be yet far fairer than you are.
He means in flesh.
No, you shall paint when you are old.
Wrinkles forbid.
Oh, vex not his prescience, be attentive.
What say you, soothsayer?
You shall be more beloving than beloved.
I'd rather heat my liver with drinking.
Nay, hear him.
Good, now some excellent fortune. Let me be married to 3 kings in a forenoon and widow them all. Let me have a child at 50 to whom Herod of Jewry may do homage. Oh, find me to marry me with Octavius Caesar and companion me with my mistress.
You shall outlive the lady whom you serve.
Oh, excellent. I love long life better than figs.
You have seen and proved a fairer former fortune than that which is to approach.
Then belike my children have no names. Prithee, how many boys and wenches must I have?
If every of your wishes had a womb, and foretell every wish, 1,000,000.
Oh, out fool. I forgive thee for a witch.
You think none but your sheets are privy to your wishes.
Nay, come, tell Iris hers.
We'll know all our fortunes. Mine and most our fortunes tonight shall be drunk to bed.
There is a poem's presage chastity, if nothing else.
E'en as the o'erflowing Nilus presages famine.
Go, you wild bedfellow, you cannot forsooth say.
Nay, if an only palm be not a fruitful prognostication, I cannot scratch mine ear. Prithee, tell her but a worky day fortune.
Your fortunes are alike.
But how? How? Give me particulars.
I have said.
Am I not an inch of fortune better than she?
Well, if it were but an inch of fortune better than I, where would you choose it?
Not in my husband's nose.
Our worser thoughts heavens mend.
Oh, come, his fortune, his fortune. Oh, let him marry a woman that cannot go. Sweet Isis, I beseech thee, and let her die too, and give him a worse, and let worse follow worse, till the worst of all follow him laughing to his grave, 50-fold a cuckold. Good Isis, hear me this prayer, though deny me a matter of more weight. Good Isis, I beseech thee.
Amen, dear goddess. Hear that prayer of the people. For as it is a heartbreaking to see a handsome man loose wived, so it is a deadly sorrow to behold a foul knave uncuckolded. Therefore, dear Isis, keep decorum and fortune him accordingly.
Amen.
Although now, if it lay in their hands to make me a cuckold, they would make themselves whores, but they'll do it. Hush, here comes Antony.
Not he, the queen.
Save you, my lord.
No, lady.
Was he not here?
No, madam.
He was disposed to mirth, but on the Sodane, a Romain thought hath struck him. Enobarbus?
Madam.
Seek him and bring him hither. Where's Alexius?
I hear at your service. My lord approaches.
We will not look upon him. Go with us.
Fulvia, thy wife, first came into the field.
Against my brother Lucius?
Aye, but soon that war had end, and the time state made friends of them, jointing their force against Caesar, whose better issue in the war from Italy upon the first encounter drave them.
Well, what worst?
The nature of bad news infects the teller.
When it concerns the fool or coward, on things that are past are done with me. 'Tis thus, who tells me true, though in his tale lie death, I hear him as he flattered.
Labienus, this is stiff news, hath with his Parthian force extended Asia. From Euphrates his conquering banner shook from Syria to Lydia and Iona, whilst...
And Antony, thou wouldst say.
Oh, my lord.
Speak to me home, mince not the general tongue. Name Cleopatra as she is called in Rome. Rail thou in Fulvia's phrase, and taunt my faults with such full license as both truth and malice hath power to utter. Oh, then we bring forth weeds when our quick winds lie still, and our ills told us is as our caring is as our caring. Fare thee well a while.
At your noble pleasure.
From Sicyon, how's the news? Speak there.
This man from Sion, is there such a one?
He stays upon your will.
Let him appear. These strong Egyptian fetters I must break or lose myself in dotage. What are you?
Fulvia, thy wife is dead.
Where died she?
In Sicyon. Her length of sickness with what else more serious importeth thee to know this bears.
Forbear me. There's a great spirit gone. Thus I did desire it, but our contempts doth often hurl from us, we wish it ours again. The present pleasure by revolution lowering does become the opposite of itself. She's good, being gone, the hand that could pluck her back, that shoved her on. I must from this enchanting queen break off 10,000 harms, more than the ills I know my idleness doth hatch. How now, Enobarbus?
What's your pleasure, sir?
I must with haste from hence.
Why, then we kill all our women. We see how mortal and unkindness is to them. If they suffer our departure, death's the word.
I must be gone.
Under a compelling occasion, let women die. It were pity to cast them away for nothing, though between them and a great cause they should be esteemed and nothing. Cleopatra, catching but the least noise of this, dies instantly. I have seen her die 20 times upon far poorer moment. I do think there is a metal in death which commits some loving act upon her. She hath such a celerity in dying.
She is cunning past man's thought.
Ah, lax her, no. Her passions are made of nothing but the finest part of pure love. We cannot call her winds and waters, sighs and tears. They are greater storms and tempests than almanacs can report. This cannot be cunning in her. If it be, she makes a shower of rain as well as Jove.
Would I had never seen her.
Oh, sir, you had then left unseen a wonderful piece of work, which, not to have been blessed withal, would have discredited your travail.
Fulvia's dead.
Sir?
Fulvia is dead.
Fulvia.
Dead.
Why, sir, give the gods a thankful sacrifice. When it pleaseth the deities to take the wife of a man from him, it shows man to the tailors of the earth, comforting therein. But when old robes are worn out, there are members to make new. If there were no more women but Fulvia, then had you indeed a cut and a case to be lamented. This grief crowned with consolation. Your old smock brings forth a new petticoat, and indeed the tears live in an onion that should water this sorrow.
The business she hath broached in the state cannot endure my absence.
And the business you have broached here cannot be without you, especially that of Cleopatra's, which wholly depends on your abode.
No more light answers. Let our officers have notice what we propose. I shall break the cause of our expedience to the queen and get her love to part. For not alone the death of Fulvia with more urgent touches do strongly speak to us, but the letters too of our many contriving friends in Rome petition us at home. Sextus Pompeius hath given the dare to Caesar and commands the empire of the sea. Our slippery people, whose love is never linked to the deserver till his deserts are past, begin to throw Pompey the Great and all his dignities upon his son, who high in name and power, higher than both in blood and life, stand up for the main soldier, whose quality going on the sides of the world may danger. Much is breeding, which like the courses here hath yet but life, and not yet serpent's poison. Say our pleasure to such places under us require our quick remove from hence.
I shall do it. Enter Cleopatra, Charmian, Alexis, and Iris.
Where is he?
I did not see him since.
See where he is. Those with him, what he does, I did not send you. If you find him sad, say I am dancing. If in mirth, report that I am Sudane sick. Quick, and return.
Madam, methinks if you did love him dearly, you do not hold the method to enforce the like from him.
What should I do? I do not.
In each thing, give him way, cross him in nothing.
Thou teachest like a fool the way to lose him.
Oh, tempt him not so far. I wish forbear in time. We hate that which we often fear. But here comes Antony.
I am sick and sullen.
I am sorry to give breathing to my purpose.
Help me away, dear Charmian. I shall fall. It cannot be thus long. The sides of nature will not sustain it.
Oh, my dearest queen.
Pray you stand farther from me.
What's the matter?
I know that by that same eye there's some good news. What says the married woman you may go? Would she have never given you to leave to come? Let her not say 'tis I that keep you here. I have no power upon you. Hers you are.
Gods know best.
Who never was their queen so mightily betrayed? Yet at the first I saw the treasons planted.
Cleopatra.
Why should I think you can be mine and true, though you in swearing shake the throned gods, who have been false to Fulvia? Riotous madnessy, to be entangled with those mad-mouth vows which break themselves in swearing.
Most sweet queen.
Nay, pray you seek no colour for your going, but bid farewell and go. When you sued staying, then was the time for words. No going then, eternity was in our lips and eyes, bliss in our brows bent, none of our parts so poor, but was a race of heaven. they are so still. O thou, the greatest soldier of the world, art turned the greatest liar.
How now, lady?
I would I had thy inches, thou shouldest know there were a heart in Egypt.
Hear me, queen. The strong necessity of time commands our services a while, but my full heart remains with you. Our Italy shines o'er with civil swords. Sextus Pompeius makes his approaches to the port of Rome. Equality of two domestic powers breeds scrupulous faction. The hatred grown to strength are newly grown to love. The condemned Pompey, rich in his father's honors, creeps apace into the hearts of such as have not thrived upon the present state, whose numbers threaten and quietness grown sick of the rest would purge by any desperate change. My more particular is that which you should safe. My more particular and that which with you should safe my going is Fulvia's death.
Though age from folly could not give me freedom, it does from childishness. Can Fulvia die?
She's dead, my queen. Look here, and at thy sovereign leisure read the garboils she awaked at last best, see when and where she died.
O most false love, where be the sacred volleys, vows thou shouldest fill with sorrowful water? Now I see in Fulvia's death how mine received shall be.
Quarrel no more, but be prepared to know the purposes I bear, which are or cease as you shall give the advice. By the fire that quickens the Nilus slime, I go from hence thy soldier, servant, making peace or war as thou affects.
Cut my lace. Charmian, come, but let it be. I'm quickly ill and well, so Antony loves.
My precious queen, forbear and give true evidence to his love, which stands an honorable trial.
So Fulvia told me. I prithee turn aside and weep for her, then bid adieu to me, and say the tears belong to Egypt. Good now, play one of excellent dissembling, and let it look like perfect honor.
You'll heat my blood no more?
You can do better yet, and this is meetly.
Now by sword.
And target, still he mends. But this is not the best. Look, prithee, Charmian, how this Herculean Roman does become the carriage of his chafe.
I'll leave you, lady.
Courteous lord, one word, sir. You and I must part, but that's not it. Sir, you and I have loved, but there's not it. That you know well, something it is I would. Oh, my oblivion is a very Antony, and I am all forgotten.
But that your royalty holds idleness your subject, I should take you for idleness itself.
'Tis sweating labor to bear such idleness so near the heart as Cleopatra this. But sir, forgive me, since my becomings kill me. When they do not eye well to you, your honor calls you hence. Therefore, be deaf to my unpitied folly, and all the gods go with you. Upon your sword sit laurel victory, and smooth success be shrewd before your feet.
Let us go. Come. Our separation so abides and flies, that thou residing here goes yet with me, and I, hence fleeting, here remain with thee. Away.
Exeunt. Enter Octavius reading a letter, Lepidus and their train.
You may see Lepidus, and henceforth know it is not Caesar's natural vice to hate one great competitor. From Alexandria, this is the news. He fishes, drinks, and wastes the lamps of night in revel. Is not more manlike than Cleopatra, nor the queen of Ptolemy more womanly than he. Hardly gave audience, or vouchsafed to think he had partners. You shall find there a man who is the abstract of all faults that all men follow.
Well, I must not think that there are evils enough to darken all his goodness. His faults in him seem as the spots of heaven, more fiery by night's blackness, heredity rather than purchased, where he cannot change than what he chooses.
You are too indulgent. Let's grant it is not amiss to tumble on the bed of Ptolemy, to give a kingdom for a mirth, to sit and keep the turn of tippling with a slave, to reel the streets at noon and stand the buffet with knaves that smells of sweat. Say this becomes him, as his composure must rare indeed be, whom these things cannot blemish. Yet must Anthony no way excuse his foils when we do bear so great weight in his lightness. If he filled his vacancy with his voluptuousness, full surfeits, and the drink of dryness of his bones, call on him for it. But to confound such time that drums him from his sport, and speaks as loud as his own state and ours, 'tis to be chid, as we read boys who, being mature in knowledge, pawn their experience to their present pleasure, and so rebel to judgment.
Here's more news.
Thy biddings have been done, and every hour, most noble Caesar, shalt thou have report how 'tis abroad. Pompey is strong at sea, and appears he is beloved of those that only feared Caesar. To the ports the discontents repair, and men's reports give him much wronged.
I should have known no less. It hath been taught us from the primal state that he which is was wished until he were, and the ebbed man ne'er loved till ne'er worth love comes feared by being lacked. This common body, like to a vagabond flag unto the stream, goes to and back, lacking the varying tide to rot itself with motion.
Caesar, I bring thee words. Menecrates and Minos, famous pirates, make the sea serve them, which they ear and wound with keels of every kind. Many hot inroads they make in Italy, the borders maritime, lack blood to think on it, and flush youth revolt. No vessel can peep forth, but 'tis as soon taken as seen, for Pompey's name strikes more than could his war resisted.
Anthony, leave thy lascivious vassals! When thou once was beaten from Medina, where thou slewest Hircius and paws of consuls, at thy heels did famine follow, whom thou fought'st against, though daintily brought up, with patience more than savages could suffer. Thou didst drink the stale of horses, and the gilded puddle which beasts would cough at. The palate thou didst stain, the roughest berry on the rudest hedge. Yea, like the stag when snow the pasture sheets, the barks of trees thou browsed. On the Alps it is reported thou didst eat strange flesh, which some did die to look on. And all this, it wounds thine honor that I speak it now, was born so like a soldier that thy cheeks so much as lanked not.
'Tis pity of him.
Let his shames quickly drive him to Rome. 'Tis time we twain did show ourselves in the field, and to that end assemble me immediate consul. Pompey thrives in our idleness.
Tomorrow, Caesar, I shall be furnished to inform you rightly both what by sea and land I can be able to front this present time.
Till which encounter it is my business to farewell.
Farewell, my lord. What you shall know meantime of stirs abroad, I shall beseech you, sir, to let me be partaker.
Doubt not, sir, I knew it for my bond.
Exeunt enter Cleopatra, Charmian, Iris, and Mardian.
Charmian!
Madam,
Haha. Give me to drink mandragora,
why, madam?
that I might sleep out this great gap of time. My Anthony is away.
You think of him too much.
Oh, 'tis treason.
Madam, I trust not so.
Thou, eunuch Mardian?
What's your pleasure, Highness?
Not now. Not now to hear thee sing. I take no pleasure in aught an eunuch has. 'Tis well for thee that, being unseminar'd, thy freer thoughts may not fly forth of Egypt. Hast thou affections?
Yes, gracious madam.
Indeed?
Not indeed, madam, for I can do nothing but what indeed is honest to be done. Yet have I fierce affections, and think what Venus did with Mars.
O Charmian, where thinkest thou he is now? Stands he, or sits he, or does he walk, or is he on his horse, or happy horse to bear the weight of Anthony? Do bravely, horse, for what's thou whom thou movest, the demi-atlas of this earth, the arm and burgeonet of men. He's speaking now, or murmuring, where's my sermon of old Nile, for so he calls me. Now I feed myself with most delicious poison. Think on me that I'm with Phoebus Amoris pinches black and wrinkled deep in time. Broad-fronted Caesar, when thou wast here above the ground, I was a morsel for a monarch, and great Pompey would stand and make his eyes grow in my brow. There would he anchor his aspect and die with looking on his life.
Sovereign of Egypt, hail.
How much unalike art thou, Mark Anthony? Yet coming from him, that great medicine hath with his tinct gilded thee. How does it with my brave Mark Anthony?
The last thing he did, dear queen, he kissed the last of many double kisses, this orient pearl. His speech sticks in my heart.
Mine ear must pluck it thence.
Good friend, quoth he, say the firm Roman to great Egypt sends the treasure of an oyster, at whose foot to mend the petty present I will piece her opulent throne with kingdoms. All the East, say thou, shall call her mistress. So he nodded, and soberly did mount an armgut steed, who neighed so high that what I would have spoke was beastly dumb by him.
What was he, sad or merry?
Like to the time of the years, between the extremes of hot and cold, he was nor sad nor merry.
Oh, well divided disposition. Note him good. Charmian, 'tis the man, but note him. He was not sad, for he would not shine on those that make their looks by his. He was not merry, which seemed to tell them his remembrance lay in Egypt with his joy, but between both. Oh, heavenly mingle, be'st thou sad or merry, the violence of either thee becomes, or does it no man's else. Meddest thou my posts?
Aye, madam, 20 several messengers. Why do you send so thick?
Who's born that day when I forget to send to Anthony shall die a beggar. Ink and paper, Charmian. Welcome, my good Alexis. Did I, Charmian, ever love Caesar so?
Oh, that brave Caesar.
be choked with such another emphasis. Say the brave Anthony.
The valiant Caesar.
By Isis, I will give thee bloody teeth if thou wouldst Caesar paragon again by man of men.
By your most gracious pardon, I sing but after you.
My salad days when I was green in judgment, cold in blood, to say, as I said then, back come, away, get me ink and paper. He shall have every day a several greeting, or ill people Egypt.
Exeunt. Enter Pompey, Menecratus, and Menas in a warlike manner.
If the great gods be just, they shall assist the deeds of justice men.
Know, worthy Pompey, that what they do delay, they not deny.
Whilst we are suitors to their throne, decay is the thing we sue for.
We, ignorant of ourselves, beg off our own harms, which the wise powers deny us for our own good. So find we profit by losing of our prayers.
And I shall do well. The people love me, and the sea is mine. My powers are crescent, and my auguring hope says it will come to the full. Mark Antony in Egypt sits at dinner and will make no wars without doors. Caesar gets money where he loses hearts. Lepidus flatters both, of both is flattered, but he neither loves nor either cares for him.
Caesar and Lepidus are in the field, a mighty strength they carry.
Where have you this? 'Tis false.
From Silvius, sir.
He dreams. I know they are in Rome together looking for Antony, but all the charms of love, salt Cleopatra, soften my wand lip. Let witchcraft join with beauty, lust with both. Tie up the libertine on a field of feast, keeping his brain fuming. Epicurean cooks sharpen with cloyless sauce his appetite, that sleep and feeding may prorogue his honor, even till a levied dullness. How now, Varius?
This is most certain that I shall deliver. Mark Antony is every hour in Rome expected. Since he went from Egypt, 'tis a space for further travail.
Could have given less matter a better ear. Oh, Menace, I did not think this amorous surfeiter would have donned his helm for such a petty war. His soldiership is twice the other twain. But let us rear the higher our opinion, that our skirting can from the lap of Egypt's queen pluck the ne'er lust-wearied Antony.
I cannot hope Caesar and Antony shall well greet together. His wife that's dead did trespasses to Caesar. His mother waned upon him, although I think not moved by Antony.
I know not, Menace, how lesser entities may give way to greater, were it not that we stand up against them all. 'Twere pregnant they should square between themselves, for they have entertained cause enough to draw their swords. But how the fear of us may cement their divisions and bind up the petty difference we yet not know. Be it as our gods will have it, it only stands our lives upon to use our strongest hands. Come, Menas.
Exeunt. Enter Enobarbus and Lepidus.
Good Enobarbarus, 'tis a worthy deed, and shall become you well to entreat your captain to soft and gentle speech.
I shall entreat him to answer like himself, if Caesar move him. Let Antony look over Caesar's head and speak as loud as Mars. By Jupiter, were I the wearer of Antonio's beard, I would not shave it today.
It is not a time for private stomaching.
Every time serves for the matter that is then born in it.
But small to greater matters must give way.
And not if the small come first.
Your speech is passion, But pray you stir no embers up. Here comes the noble Antony.
And yonder Caesar.
If we compose well here to Parthia, hark, Ventidius.
I do not know, Maecenas. Ask Agrippa.
Noble friends, that which combined us with most great, and let not a leaner action rend us. What's amiss may be gently heard. When we debate our trivial differences loud, we do commit murder in healing wounds. The noble partners, the rather, for I earnestly beseech, touch you the sourest points with sweetest terms, nor curtness grow to the matter.
'Tis spoken well. Were we before our armies and to fight, I should do thus.
Welcome to Rome.
Thank you.
Sit.
Sit, sir.
Nay then,
I learn you take things ill which are not so, or being concern you not.
I must be laughed at if, or for nothing, or a little, I should say myself offended, and with you chiefly in the world, more laughed at, that I should once name you derogatorily, when to sound your name is not concerned me.
My being in Egypt, Caesar, what was it to you?
No more than my residing here at Rome might be to you in Egypt. Yet, if you there did practice on my state, your being in Egypt might be my question.
How intend you practiced?
You may be pleased to catch at mine intent by what did here befall me. Your wife and brother made wars upon me, and their contestation was theme for you. You were the word of war.
You do mistake your business. My brother never did urge me in his act. I did inquire it, and have my learning from some true reports that drew their swords with you. Did he not rather discredit my authority with yours, and make the wars alike against my stomach, having alike your cause? Of this my letters before did satisfy you. If you'll patch a quarrel as a matter whole, you have to make it with, it must not be with us.
You praise yourself by laying defects of judgment to me, but you patched up your excuses.
Not so, not so. I know you could not lack. I am certain on it. Very necessity of this thought, that I, your partner in the cause gainst which he fought, could not with graceful eyes attend those wars which fronted mine own peace. As for my wife, I would you had her spirit. In such another, the third of the world is yours, which with a snaffle you may pace easy, but not such a wife.
Would we had all such wives, that the men might go to wars with the women.
So much uncurable. Her garboils, Caesar, made out of her impatience, which were not wanted shrewdness of policy to. I grieving grant, did you too much disquiet? For that you must, but say I could not help it.
I wrote to you, and rioting in Alexandria, you did pocket up my letters, and with taunts did gibe my missive out of audience.
Sir, he fell upon me, ere admitted then. 3 kings I had newly feasted, and did want of what I was in the morning. But the next day I told him of myself, which was as much to have asked him pardon. Let this fellow be nothing of our strife. If we contend out of question, wipe him.
You have broke the article of your oath, which you shall never have tongue to charge me with.
Soft, Caesar.
No, Lepidus, let him speak. The honor is sacred which he talks on now. Supposing I had lacked it, but on Caesar the article of my oath.
To lend me arms and aid when I required them, the which you both denied.
Neglected, rather. And then when poisoned hours had bound me up from mine own knowledge, as nearly as I may, I'll play the penitent to you. But mine honesty shall not make poor my greatness, nor my power work without it. Truth is that Fulvia, to have me out of Egypt, made wars here, for which myself, the ignorant motive, do so far ask pardon as befits mine honor to stoop in such a case.
'Tis noble spoken.
If it might please you to enforce no further the griefs between ye, to forget them quite were to remember that the present need speaks to atone you.
Well, worthily spoken, Maecenas.
Or if you borrow one another's love for the instance, you may, when you hear no more words of Pompey, return it again. You shall have time to wrangle in when you have nothing else to do.
Thou art a soldier, only speak no more.
The truth should be silent, I had almost forgot.
You wrong this presence, therefore speak no more.
Go to then, your considerate stone.
I do not much dislike the matter, but the manner of his speech. For it cannot be we shall remain in friendship, our conditions so differing in their acts. Yet, if I knew what hope should hold us stanch from edge to edge at the world, I would pursue it.
Give me leave, Caesar.
Speak, Agrippa.
Thou hast a sister by the mother's side, admired Octavia. Great Mark Antony is now a widower.
Say not, say Agrippa. If Cleopatra heard you, your proof were well deserved of rashness.
I am not married, Caesar. Let me hear Agrippa speak further.
To hold you in perpetual amity, to make you your brothers, and to knit your hearts with an unslipping knot, take Antony Octavia to his wife, whose beauty claims no worse a husband than the best of men, whose virtue and whose general graces speak that which none else can utter. By this marriage, all little jealousies, which now seem great, and all great fears, which now import their dangers, would then be nothing. Truths would be tales, where now half tales be truths. Her love to both would, each to other, and all loves to both, draw after her. Pardon what I have spoke, for 'tis a study, not a present thought, by duty ruminated.
Will Caesar speak?
Not till he hears how Antony is touched with what is spoke already.
What power is in Agrippa? If I would say, Agrippa, be it so to make this good.
The power of Caesar, and his power unto Octavia.
May I never to this good purpose that so fairly shows dream of impediment. Let me have thy hand further on this act of grace, and from this hour the heart of brothers govern in our lives and sway our great designs.
There's my hand. A sister I bequeath you, whom no brother did ever love so dearly. Let her live to join our kingdoms and our hearts, and never fly off our loves again.
Happily, amen.
I did not think to draw my sword against Pompey, for he hath laid strange courtesies and great of late upon me. I must thank him only, lest my remembrance suffer ill report at heel of that defy him.
Time calls upon us. Of us must Pompey presently be sought, or else he seeks us out.
Where lies he?
About the Mount Messina,
What is his strength by land?
great and increasing, but by sea he is an absolute master.
So is the fame. Would we had spoke together. Had we for it, yet ere we put ourselves in arms, dispatch the business we have talked of.
With most gladness, and to invite you to my sister's view, whither straight I'll lead you.
Let us not lack your company.
Noble Antony, not sickness should detain me.
Flourish, exit omnes, mane, enobarbus, Agrippa, Maecenas.
Welcome from Egypt, sir.
Half the heart of Caesar, worthy Maecenas. My honorable friend Agrippa.
Good Enobarbus.
We have cause to be glad that matters are so well digested. You stand well by in Egypt.
Aye, sir, we did sleep day out of countenance and made the night light with drinking.
8 wild boars roasted whole at her breakfast. But 12 persons there, is this true?
Oh, this was but as a fly by an eagle. We had much more monstrous manner of feast, which worthily deserved noting.
She's a most triumphant lady, if report be square to her.
Oh, when she first met Mark Antony, she pursed up his heart upon the river of Cydnus.
There she appeared indeed, or my reporter devised well for her.
Oh, I will tell you. The barge she sat in, like a burnished throne, burnt on the water. The poop was beaten gold, purple the sails, and so perfumed that the winds were lovesick with them. The oars were silver, which to the tune of flutes kept stroke, and made the water which they beat to follow faster, as amorous of their strokes. For her own person, it beggared all description. She did lie in her pavilion, cloth of gold, of tissue, or picturing that Venus where we see the fancy outwork nature. On each side her stood pretty dimpled boys, like smiling cupids, with diverse colored fans, whose winds did seem to glove the delicate cheeks which they did cool, and what they undid did.
Oh, rare for Antony.
Oh, her gentlewomen, like the Nereides, so many mermaids tended her in the eyes and made their bends adornings. At the helm, a seeming mermaid steers. The silken tackle swells with the touches of those flower soft hands that yearly frame the office. From the barge, a strange invisible perfume hits the sense of the adjacent wharfs. The city cast her people out upon her, and Antony, enthroned in the marketplace, did sit alone, whistling to the air, which but for vacancy had gone to gaze on Cleopatra too, and made a gap in nature.
Rare Egyptian.
Oh, upon her landing, Antony sent to her, invited her to supper. She replied, it would be better he became her guest, which he entreated our courteous Antony, whom ne'er the word of no women heard speak, being barbered 10 times o'er, goes to the feast, and for his ordinary pays his heart for what his eyes ate only.
Royal wench! She made great Caesar lay his sword to bed. He plowed her, and she cropped.
I saw her once hop 40 paces through the public street, and having lost her breath, she spoke and panted that she did make defect perfection, and breathless power pour breath forth.
Now Antony must leave her utterly.
Never, he will not. Age cannot wither her, nor custom stale her infinite variety. Other women cloy the appetites they feed, but she makes hungry where most she satisfies. For vilest thing become themselves in her, that the holy priests bless her when she is riggish.
If beauty, wisdom, modesty can settle the heart of Antony, Octavia is a blessed lottery to him.
Let us go, good Enobarbus. Make yourself my guest whilst you abide here.
Humbly, sir, I thank you. Exeunt enter Antony, Caesar, Octavia between them.
The world and my great office will sometimes divide me from your bosom.
All which time before the gods my knee shall bow my prayers to them for you.
Good night, sir. My Octavia, read not my blemishes in the world's report. I have not kept my square, but that to come shall all be done by the rule. Good night, dear lady. Good night, sir.
Good night.
Now, sirrah, do you wish yourself in Egypt?
Would I had never come from thence, nor you thither.
If you can, your reason?
I see it in my motion, have it not in my tongue. But yet how you to Egypt again?
Say to me whose fortunes shall rise higher, Caesar's or mine?
Caesar's. Therefore, O Antony, stay not by his side, thy diamond, that thy spirit which keeps thee is noble, courageous, high, unmatchable, where Caesar's is not. But near him thy angel becomes a fear, as being overpowered. Therefore make space enough between you.
Speak this no more.
To none but thee, no more but. When to thee, if thou dost play with him at any game, thou art sure to lose. And of that natural luck he beats thee against all odds. Thy lustre thickens when he shines by. I say again, thy spirit is all afraid to govern thee near him, but he always is noble.
Get thee gone. Say to Ventigius I would speak with him. He shall to Parthia, be it art or hap, he hath spoken true. The very dice obey him, and in our sports my better cunning faints under his chance. If we draw lots, he speeds, his cocks do win the battle, still of mine when all is to naught. And his quails ever beat mine in hoped at odds. I will to Egypt, and though I make this marriage for my peace, in the east my pleasure lies. O come, Ventigius, you must to Parthia, your commission ready. Follow me and receive it.
Lepidus, Maecenas, and Agrippa.
Trouble yourselves no further. Pray you hasten your generals after.
Sir, Mark Antony will e'en but kiss Octavia, and will follow.
Till I shall see you in your soldier's dress, which will become you both. Farewell.
You shall, as I can see the journey be at Mount before you, Lepidus.
Your way is shorter. My purposes do draw me much about. You'll win 2 days upon me.
Sir, good success.
Farewell.
Exeunt. Enter Cleopatra, Charmian, Iris, and Alexis.
Some music. Moody food of us that trade in love.
Music!
Whoa.
Wow.
Let it alone. Let's to billiards. Come, Charmian.
Oh, my arm is sore. Best play with Mardian.
As well a woman with a eunuch played as with a woman. Come, you all play with me, sir.
As well as I can, madam.
And when goodwill is shewed, thou'lt come to short. The actor may plead pardon. I'll none now. Give me mine angle. Wheel to the river there. My music playing far off. I will betray tawny fine fishes. My bended hook shall pierce their slimy jaws, and as I draw them up, I'll think them every one an Anthony, and say, aha, you're caught.
'Twas merry when you wagered on your angling, when your diver did hang a salt fish on his hook, which he with fervency drew up.
That time, oh times, I'd laughed him out of patience. And that night I'd laughed him into patience. And next morn, ere the 9th hour, I drunk him to his bed. Then put my tires and mantles on him, whilst I wore his sword Philippine. Oh, from Italy ran thou thy fruitful tidings in mine ears. That long time hath been barren.
Madam.
Antony, you's dead? If thou say so, villain, thou killest thy mistress. But well and free, if thou so yield him, there is gold. And here my bluest veins to kiss a hand that the kings have lipped and trembled kissing.
First, madam, he is well.
Uh-oh.
Why, there's more gold. But Sire Mark, we used to say, the dead are well. Bring it to that. The gold I give thee, will I melt and power down thy ill-uttering throat.
Good madam, hear me.
Well, go to I will, but there's no goodness in thy face if Anthony be free and healthful. So tartar favour to trumpet with such good tidings. If not well, thou shouldst come like a fury crowned with snakes, like a formal man.
Wilt please you hear me?
I have a mind to strike thee ere thou speakest, yet if thou say Anthony lives, 'tis well, or friends with Caesar, or not captive to him, I'll set thee in a shower of gold and hail rich pearls upon thee.
Madam, he's well.
Well said.
And friends with Caesar.
What an honest man.
Caesar and he are greater friends than ever.
Make thee a fortune from me.
But yet, madam,
I do not like but yet, but it does allay the good precedence. Fee upon but yet, and yet is a jailer to bring forth some monstrous malefactor. Prithee, friend, pour out the pack of matter to mine ear, the good and bad together. He's friends with Caesar, in state of health thou sayest, and thou sayest free.
free madam, no, I make no such report. He's bound unto Octavia.
What good turn!
For the best turn in the bed.
I am pale, Charmian.
Madam, he's married to Octavia.
The most infectious pestilence upon thee.
Good madam, patience.
What say you? This horrible villain, I'll spurn thine eyes like balls before me. I'll unhair thy head. Thou shalt be whipped with wire and stewed in brine, smarting in lingering pickle.
Gracious madam, I that do bring the news made not the match.
Say 'tis not so, a province. Say 'tis not so, a province I will give thee, and make thy fortunes proud. The blow thou hadst shall make thy peace for moving me to rage, and I will boot thee with that gift beside thy modesty can beg.
He's married, madam.
Rogue! Thou hast lived too long!
Run!
Oh, good madam, keep yourself within yourself. This man is innocent.
Some innocent scape not the thunderbolt. Melt Egypt into Nile, and kindly creatures turn all to serpents. Call the slave again. Though I am mad, I will not bite him. Call.
He is a fear to come.
I will not hurt him. These hands do lack nobility, that they strike a meaner than myself, since myself have given myself the cause. Come hither, sir. Though it be honest, it is never good to bring bad news, to give to a gracious message an honest a host of tongues, but let ill tidings tell themselves when they be felt.
I have done my duty.
Is he married? I cannot hate thee worse than I do, if thou again say yes.
He's married, madam.
The gods confound thee. Dost thou hold there still?
Shall I lie, madam?
Oh, I would thou didst. So half my Egypt was submerged and made her cistern for scaled snakes. Go get thee hence. Hast thou Narcissus in thy face to me, thou wouldst appear most ugly. He is married.
I crave your highness pardon.
He is married?
Take no offense that I would not offend you to to punish me for what you make me do seems much unequal. He's married to Octavia.
Oh, that his fault should make a knave of thee, that art not what thou'rt sure of. Get thee hence, the merchandise which thou hast brought from Rome are all too dear for me. Lie they upon thy hand and be undone by him.
But your highness, patience.
In praising Anthony, I have just praised Caesar.
Many times, madam.
I am paid for it now. Lead me from hence. I faint. Oh, Iris, Charmian, 'tis no matter. Go to the fellow. Good Alexis, bid him report the feature of Octavia, her years, her inclination. Let him not leave out the color of her hair. Bring me word quickly. Let him forever go. Let him not, Charmian, though he may be painted one way like a Gorgon, the other way a Mars. Bid you, Alexis, bring me word. How tall she is? Pity me, Charmian, but do not speak to me. Lead me to my chamber.
Exeunt, flourish, enter Pompey at one door with drum and trumpet, at another Caesar, Lepidus, Antony, Enobarbus, Maecenas, Agrippa, Minos, with soldiers marching.
Your hostages I have, so have you mine, and we shall talk before we fight.
Most meet that first we come to words, and therefore have we our written purposes before us sent, which if thou hast considered, let us know, if 'twill tie up thy discontented sword, and carry back to Sicily much tall youth, that else must perish here.
To you all three, the senators alone of this great world, chief factors for the gods, I do not know wherefore my father should revengers want, having a son and friends, since Julius Caesar, who at Philippi the good Brutus ghosted, there saw you laboring for him. What was that move pale Cassius to conspire? And what made all honored, honest Roman Brutus with the armed rest, courtiers of beauteous freedom, to drench the Capitol, but that they would have one man, but a man, and that his it shall make me rig my navy, at whose burden the angered ocean foams, with which I meant to scourge the ingratitude that despiteful Rome cast on my noble father.
Take your time.
Thou canst not fear us, Pompey, with thy sails. We'll speak with thee at sea. At land, thou knowest how much we do or count thee.
At land indeed thou dost o'ercount me of my father's house. But since the cuckoo builds not for himself, remain in it as thou mayst.
Be pleased to tell us, for this is from the present how you take the offers we have sent you.
That's the point.
Which do not be entreated to, but weigh what is worth embraced.
And what may follow to try a larger fortune.
You have made me offer of Sicily, Sardinia, and I must rid all the seas of pirates. Then to send measures of wheat to Rome, this agreed upon, to part with unhacked edges and bear back our targets undinted.
That's our offer.
Know then, I came before you here, a man prepared to take this offer. But Mark Antony put me to some impatience, though I lose the praise of it by telling. You must know when Caesar and your brother were at blows, your mother came to Sicily and did find her welcome friendly.
I have heard it, Pompey, and I am well studied for a liberal thanks, which I do owe you.
Let me have your hand. I did not think, sir, to have met you here.
Beds in the east are soft, and thanks to you that called me timelier than my purposes hither, for I have gained by it.
Since I saw you last, there's a change upon you.
Well, I know not. I know not what Count's harsh fortunes casts upon my face, but in my bosom shall she never come to make my heart her vassal.
Well met here.
I hope so, Lepidus. Thus we are agreed. I crave our composition may be written and sealed between us.
That's the next to do.
We'll feast each other ere we part, and let's draw lots who shall begin.
That I will, Pompey.
No, Antony, take the lot, but first or last, your fine Egyptian cookery shall have the fame. I have heard that Julius Caesar grew fat with feasting there.
You have heard much,
I have fair meeting, sir.
and fair words to them.
Then so much have I heard, and I have heard Apollodorus carried.
Oh, no more that. He did so.
What, I pray you?
A certain queen to Caesar in a mattress.
I know thee well. How farest thou, soldier?
Well, and well am like to do, for I perceive 4 feasts are toward.
Let me shake thy hand. I never hated thee. I've seen thee fight when I have envied thy behavior.
Sir, I never loved you much, but I have praised ye when you have well deserved 10 times as much as I have said you did.
Enjoy thy plainness. Nothing ill becomes thee. Aboard my galley, I invite you all. Will you lead, lords?
Show the way, sir.
Why, sir?
Come.
Exit man Enobarbus and Minos.
Thy father, Pompey, would ne'er have made this treaty. You and I have known, sir.
At sea, I think.
We have, sir,
Well, you have done well by water.
and you by land.
Well, I will praise any man that will praise me, though it cannot be denied what I have done by land.
Nor what I have done by water.
Yes, it's something you can deny for your own safety. You have been a great thief by sea.
And you by land.
Oh, there I deny my land service. But give me your hand, Minos. If our eyes had authority, here they might take 2 thieves kissing.
All men's faces are true, whatsoe'er their hands are.
But there is never a fair woman has a true face.
No slander. They steal hearts.
We came hither to fight with you.
For my part, I am sorry it is turned into a drinking. Pompey doth this day laugh away his fortune.
If he do, sure he cannot weep it back again.
You have said, sir, we looked not for Mark Antony here. Pray you, is he married to Cleopatra?
Caesar's sister is called Octavia.
True, sir. She was the wife of Caius Marcellus.
But she is now the wife of Marcus Antonius.
Pray ye, sir.
'Tis true.
Then is Caesar and he forever knit together.
If I were bound to divine of this unity, I would not prophesy so.
I think the policy of that purpose made more in the marriage than the love of the parties.
I think so too. But you shall find the band that seems to tie their friendship together will be the very strangler of their amity. Octavia is of a wholly cold and still conversation.
Who would not have his wife so?
Not he that he himself is not so, which is Mark Antony. He will to his Egyptian dish again. Then shall the sighs of Octavia blow the fire up in Caesar, and, as I said before, that which is the strength of their amity shall prove the immediate author of their variance. Antony will use his affection where it is. He married but his occasion here.
And thus it may be. Come, sir, will you aboard? I have a health for you.
I shall take it, sir. We have used our throats in Egypt.
Come, let's away.
Exeunt. Music plays. Enter 2 or 3 servants with a banquet.
Well, here they'll be, man. Some of their plants are ill-rooted already. The least wind in the world will blow them down.
Lepidus is high-colored.
They have made him drink alms drink.
As they pinch one another by the disposition, he cries out, "No more!" reconciles them to his entreaty, and himself to the drink.
But it raises the great war between him and his discretion.
Why, this is to have a name in great men's fellowship. I had as lief have a reed that will do me no service, as a partisan I could not heed.
To be called into a huge sphere and not to be seen to move in it are the holes where I should be, which pitifully disaster the cheeks.
A senate sounded. Enter Caesar, Antony, Pompey, Lepidus, Agrippa, Maecenas, Enobarbus, Menes, with other captains.
Thus they do, sir. They take the flow of the Nile by certain scales in the pyramid. They know by the height, the lowness, or the mean. If dearth or foison follow, the higher Nilus swells, the more it promises. As it ebbs, the seedsman upon the slime and ooze scatters his grain, and shortly comes to harvest.
You have strange serpents there?
Aye, Lepidus.
Your serpent of Egypt is bred now of your mud by the operation of your son. So is your crocodile.
They are so.
Sit and some wine, a health to Lepidus.
Well, I am not so well as I should be, but I'll ne'er out.
Not till you have slept. I fear me you'll be in till then.
Nay, certainly. I have heard the Ptolemy's Pyramesis are very goodly things. Without contradiction, I have heard that.
Pompey, a word.
Say in mine ear, what is't?
Forsake thy seat, I do beseech thee, captain. And hear me, speak a word.
Forbear me till anon. This wine for Lepidus.
What manner of thing is your crocodile?
It is shaped like itself, and it is as broad as it hath breadth. It is just so high as it is, and it moves with its own organs. It lives by that which it nourisheth, and the elements, once out of it, it transmigrates.
What color is it of?
Of its own color, too.
'Tis a strange serpent.
'Tis so, as the tears of it are wet.
Will this description satisfy him?
But the health that Pompey gives him, else he is a very epicure.
Oh, hang, sir, hang. Tell me of that. Away, do as I bid you. Where's this cup I called for?
If for the sake of merit thou wilt hear me, rise from thy stool.
I think thou art mad. The matter.
I have ever held my cap off to thy fortunes.
Thou hast served me with much faith. What's else to say? Be jolly, lords!
These quicksands, Lepidus, keep off them for your sink.
Wilt thou be lord of all the world?
What sayest thou?
Wilt thou be lord of the whole world? That's twice.
How should that be?
But entertain it, and though thou think me poor, I am the man will give thee all the world.
Hast thou drunk well?
No, Pompey, I have kept me from the cup. Thou art, if thou darest be, the earthly Jove, whate'er the ocean pales or sky eclipses thine, if thou wilt have.
Show me which way.
These 3 world sharers, these competitors, are in thy vessel. Let me cut the cable, and when we are put off, fall to their throats. All there is thine.
Ah. This thou shouldst have done and not spoken on it. In me 'tis villainy, in thee it had been good service. Thou must know 'tis not my profit that does leave mine honor it. Repeat that ere thy tongue hath so betrayed thine act. Being done unknown, I should have found it afterwards well done, but must condemn it now. Desist and drink.
For this I'll never follow thy paled fortunes more. Who seeks and will not take, when once 'tis offered, shall never find it more.
This health to Lepidus.
Bear him ashore. I'll pledge it for him, Pompey.
Here's to thee, Minos.
Enobarbus, welcome.
Fill to the cup be hid.
There's a strong fellow, Minos.
Why?
He bears the third part of the world, man. Seest not?
The third part, then he is drunk. Would it were all that it might go on wheels.
Drink thou, increase the reels.
Come.
This is not yet an Alexandrian feast.
It ripens towards it. Strike the vessels. Ho, here's to Caesar.
I could well forbear it. It's a monstrous labor when I wash my brain and it grow fouler.
Be a child of the time.
Possess it, I'll make answer, but I had rather fast from all 4 days than drink so much in one.
Ha, my brave emperor. Shall we dance now, the Egyptian bacchanals, and celebrate our drink?
Let's have it, good soldier.
Come, let's all take hands that the conquering wine hath steeped our sense in soft and delicate lethe.
All take hands, make battery to our ears with the loud music. The while I place you, when the boy shall sing, the holding every man shall beat as loud as his strong sides can volley. Come, thou monarch of the vine, plumpy Bacchus with pink eyne, in thy fats our cares be drowned, with thy grapes our hairs be crowned. Cup us till the world go round, cup us till the world go round.
What would you more? Pompey, good night. Good brother, let me request you of our graver business. Frowns at this levity. Gentle lords, let's part. You see we have burnt our cheeks. Strong Enobarba is weaker than the wine, and mine own tongue speaks what it speaks. The wild disguise hath almost anticked us all. What needs more words? Good night. Good Anthony, your hand.
I'll try you on the shore.
And shall, sir, give your hand.
Oh, Antony, you have my father's house. But what are we? Friends? Come down into the boat.
Take heed you fall not, Minos. Fall not on shore. No to my cabin. These drumps, these trumpets, flutes, what? Let Neptune hear. We bid a loud farewell to these great fellows. Sound and be hanged. Sound out. Sound a flourish with drums. Oh, says, there's my cap.
Noble captain, come.
Exeunt, enter Ventidius, as it were in triumph, the dead body of Pacorus borne before him. Jennifer, you're muted.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, dirty
Lord.
Parthia, art thou stroke? And now please fortune does of Marcus Crassus' death make me revenger. Bear the king's son's body before our army, thy Pacorus Orades. Haste from Marcus Crassus.
Noble Ventidius, whilst yet with Parthian blood thy sword is warm, the fugitive Parthians follow. Spur through Media, Mesopotamia, and the shelters, whether the rooted fly. So thy grand Captain Anthony shall set thee on triumphant chariots and put garlands on thy head.
Oh, Silius, Silius, I have done enough. A lower place note will make too great an act. To learn this, Silius, better to leave undone than by our deed acquire too high a fame. When him we serves away, Caesar and Antony have ever won more in their officer than person. Sacius, one of my place in Syria, his lieutenant, for quick accumulation of renown, which he achieved by the minute, lost his favor. Who does in the wars more than his captain can? Becomes his captain's captain. And ambition, the soldier's virtue, rather makes choice of loss than gain, which darkens him. I could do more to do Antonius good, but 'twould offend him, and in his offense should my performance perish.
Thou hast vented, Deus, that without the which a soldier and his sword groans scarce distinction. Thou wilt write to Anthony.
I'll humbly signify what in his name, that magical word of war we have effected, out his banners and his well-paid ranks, and ne'er yet beaten horse of Parthia, we have jaded out of the field.
Where is he now?
He purposeth to Athens, whither with what hast the weight we must convey with us will permit. We shall appear before him. On there, pass along.
Exeunt. Enter Agrippa at one door, Enobarbus at another.
What, are the brothers parted?
They have dispatched with Pompey. He is gone. The other three are sealing. Octavia weeps to part from Rome. Caesar is sad, and Lepidus, since Pompey's feast, as Mina says, is troubled with the green sickness.
'Tis a noble Lepidus.
A very fine one. Oh, how he loves Caesar.
Nay, but how dearly he adores Mark Antony.
Oh, Caesar, why, he's the Jupiter of men.
What's Antony, the god of Jupiter?
Oh, spake you of Caesar? How, the nonpareil?
Oh, Antony, oh thou Arabian bird.
Would you praise Caesar? Say Caesar, go no further.
Indeed, he plied them both with excellent praises.
But he loves Caesar best, yet he loves Antony. Oh, hearts, tongues, figure, scribes, bards, poets, cannot think, speak, cast, write, sing, number, his love to Antony. But as for Caesar, kneel down and wonder.
Both he loves.
They are his shards and he their beetle. So this is to the horse. Adieu, noble Agrippa.
Good fortune, worthy soldier, and farewell.
Enter Caesar, Antony, Lepidus, and Octavia.
No further, sir.
You take from me a great part of myself. Use me well in it. Sister, prove such a wife as my thoughts make thee, and as my farthest band shall pass on thy approof. Most noble Antony, let not the piece of virtue which is set betwixt us as the cement of our love, to keep it builded, be the ram to batter the fortress of it. For better might we have loved without this mean, if on both parts this not be cherished.
Make me not offended in your distrust.
I have said.
You shall not find, though you be therein curious, the least cause for what you seem to fear. So the gods keep you, and make the hearts of Romans serve your ends, we will here part.
Farewell, my dearest sister. Fare thee well. The elements be kind to thee, and make thy spirits all of comfort. Fare thee well.
My noble brother.
The April's in her eyes, it is love's spring, and these showers to bring it on. Be cheerful.
Sir, look well to my husband's house, and
What? Octavia?
I'll tell you in your ear.
Her tongue will not obey her heart, nor can her heart inform her tongue. The swan's down feather that stands upon the swell at the full of tide, and neither way inclines.
Will Caesar weep?
He has a cloud in his face.
We're the worst for that. Were he a horse, so is he being a man.
Why, and O Barbas, when Antony found Julius Caesar dead, he cried almost to roaring, and he wept when at Philippi he found Brutus slain.
Oh, well, that year indeed, he was troubled with the rheum. What willingly he did confound, he wailed, believed it, till I weep too.
No, sweet Octavia, you shall hear from me still. The time shall not outgo my thinking on you.
Come, sir, come. I'll wrestle with you in my strength of love. Look here, I have you. Thus I let you go and give you to the gods.
Adieu. Be happy.
Let all the number of the stars give light to thy fair way.
Farewell, farewell.
Farewell.
Trumpet sound, exeunt. Enter Cleopatra, Charmian, Iris, and Alexis.
Where is the fellow?
Half afeared to come.
Go to. Come hither, sir.
To the messenger as before. Good majesty, Herod of Jewry dare not look upon you, but when you are well pleased.
That Herod's head I'll have, but how? When Antony is gone, through whom I might command it, come thou near.
Most gracious majesty.
Didst thou behold Octavia?
I, dread queen.
Where?
Madam, in Rome. I looked her in the face and saw her led between her brother and Mark Antony.
Is she as tall as me?
She is not, madam.
Didst hear her speak? Is she shrill-tongued or low?
Madam, I heard her speak. She is low-voiced.
That's not so good. He cannot like her long.
Like her, oh, Isis, 'tis impossible.
I think so, Charmian. Dull of tongue and dwarfish. What majesty is in her gait? Remember, if ere thou lookest on majesty.
She creeps. Her motion and her station are as one. She shows a body rather than a life, a statue than a breather.
Is this certain?
Or I have no observance.
Three in Egypt cannot make better note.
Oh, sorry.
Three in Egypt cannot make better note.
He's very knowing. I do perceive it. There's nothing in her yet. The fellow's has good judgment.
Excellent.
Guess at her years, I prithee.
Madam, she was a widow.
Widow? Charmian, hark!
And I do think she's 30.
Bearest thou her face in mind? Is it long or round?
Round, even to faultiness.
For the most part, too. They are foolish that are so. Her hair, what colour?
Brown, madam, and her forehead as low as she would wish it.
There's gold for thee. Thou must not take my former sharpnesses ill. I will employ thee back again. I find thee most fit for business. Go, make thee ready. Our letters are prepared.
A proper man.
Indeed he is so. I repent me much that so I harried him. Why, methinks by him this creature's no such thing.
Nothing, madam.
The man hath seen some majesty and should know.
Hath he seen majesty? Isis else defend, and serving you so long?
I have one more thing to ask him yet, good Charmian, but 'tis no matter. Thou shalt bring him to me, where I will write. All may be well enough.
I warrant you, madam.
Exeunt. Enter Antony and Octavia.
Nay, nay, Octavia, not only that. They were excusable, that and thousands more of semblable import, but he hath waged new wars against Pompey, made his will, and read it to public ear, spoke scantly of me, when perforce he could not but pay me terms of honor. Cold and sickly he vented them, most narrow measure. Lent me when best hint was given him, he not took't, nor did it from his teeth.
Oh, my good Lord, believe not all, or if you must believe, stomach not all. A more unhappy lady, if this division chance, ne'er stood between praying for both parts. The good gods will mock me presently when I shall pray. Oh, bless my Lord and husband, and undo that prayer by crying out as loud. Oh, bless my brother. Husband, win, brother, prays and destroys the prayer. No midway twixt these extremes at all.
Gentle Octavia, let your best love draw to that point which seeks best to preserve it. If I lose mine honor, I lose myself. Better I were not yours than so branchless. But as you requested, yourself shall go betweens. The meantime, lady, I'll raise preparations of a war, shall stain your brother, make you soonest hast, so your desires are yours.
Thanks to my Lord, the Jove of power make me most weak, most weak. You reconciler, wars twixt you twain would be, as if the world should cleave, and that slain men should sorter up the rift.
When it appears to you where this begins, turn your displeasure that way, for our faults can never be so equal that your love can equally move with them. Provide your going, choose your own company, and command what cost your heart his mind to.
Exeunt. Enter Enobarbus and Eros. How now, friend Eros?
Ah, there's strange news come, sir.
What, man?
Caesar and Lepidus have made wars upon Pompey.
Oh, this is old. What is the success?
Caesar, having made use of him in the wars against Pompey, presently denied him rivality, would not let him partake in the glory of the action, and not resting here, accuses him of letters he had formerly wrote to Pompey. Upon his own appeal seizes him, so the poor third is up till death enlarged his confine.
Then would thou hadst a pair of chaps no more, and to throw between them all the food thou hast, they'll grind the other. Where's Antony?
He's walking in the garden thus, and spurns the rush that lies before him, cries fool Lepidus, and threats the throats of his officer that murdered Pompey.
Our great navy's rigged.
For Italy and Caesar, more Demetrius, my lord desires you presently. My news might have told hereafter.
'Twill be naught, but let it be. Bring me to Antony.
Yeah, come, sir.
Exeunt. Enter Agrippa, Maecenas, and Caesar.
Contemning Rome, he has done all this and more in Alexandria. Here's the manner of it. In the marketplace, on a tribunal, silvered, Cleopatra and himself, in chairs of gold, were publicly enthroned. At the feet sat Caesarion, whom they call my father's son, and all the unlawful issue that their lust since then have made between them. Unto her he gave the establishment of Rome, of Egypt, made her of Lower Syria, Cyprus, Lydia, absolute queen.
This in the public eye?
In the common show place where they exercise. His sons hither proclaimed the King of Kings. Greek Media, Parthia, and Armenia he gave to Alexander. To Ptolemy he assigned Syria, Cilicia, and Phoenicia. She in the habiliments of the goddess Isis that day appeared, and oft before gave audience, as 'tis reported so.
Let Rome be thus informed.
Who, queasy with his insolence, already will their good thoughts call from him.
The people knows it, and have now received his accusations.
Who does he accuse?
Caesar, and that having in Sicily Sextus Pompeius spoiled, we had not rated him his part of the isle. Then does he say he lent me some shipping unrestored. Lastly, he frets that Lepidus of the triumvirate should be deposed, and being that, we detain all his revenue.
Sir, this should be answered.
'Tis done already, and the messenger gone. I've told him Lepidus was grown too cruel, that he his high authority abused, and did deserve his change. For what I have conquered, I grant him part. But then in his Armenia and other of his conquered kingdoms, I demand the like.
Will never yield to that.
Nor must not then be yielded to in this.
Hail Caesar, and hail most dear Caesar.
That ever I should call thee cast away.
You have not called me so, nor have you cause.
Why have you stolen upon us thus? You come not like Caesar's sister. The wife of Antony should have an army for an usher, and the neighs of horse to tell of her approach. Long ere she did appear, the trees by the way should have borne men, and expectation fainted, longing for what it had not. Nay, the dust should have ascended to the roof of heaven, raised by your populous troops. But you are come a market maid to Rome, and have prevented the ostentation of our love, which left unshown is often left unloved. We should have met you by sea and land, supplying every stage with an augmented greeting.
Good my lord, to come thus was I not constrained, but did it on my free will. My lord Mark Antony, hearing that you prepared for war, acquainted my grieved ear withal, whereon I begged his pardon for return.
Which soon he granted, being an abstract tween his lust and him.
Do not say so, my lord.
I have eyes upon him, and his affairs come to me on the wind. Where is he now?
My lord, in Athens.
No, my most wronged sister, Cleopatra hath nodded him to her. He hath given his empire up to a whore, who now are levying the kings of the earth for war. He hath assembled Bacchus, the king of Libya, Archelaus of Cappadocia, Philadelphus, king of Paphlagonia, the Thracian king Adulas, King Manchus of Arabia, king of Pont, Herod of Jewry, Mithridates, king of Pomagat, Ptolemy and Amyntas, the kings of Mede and Lycaonia, with a more larger list of scepters.
Ay, me most rich that have my heart parted betwixt two friends that does afflict each other.
Welcome hither. Your letters did withhold our breaking forth, till we perceived both how you were wrong led, and we in negligent danger. Cheer your heart. Be you not troubled with the time which drives o'er your content these strong necessities, but let determined things to destiny hold unbewailed their way. Welcome to Rome. nothing more dear to me. You are abused beyond the mark of thought, and the high gods, to do you justice, makes his ministers of us. And those that love you, best of comfort, and ever welcome to us.
Welcome, lady.
Welcome, dear madam. Each heart in Rome does love and pity you. Only the adulterous Antony, most large in his abominations, turns you off and gives his potent regiment to a troll that noises it against us.
Is it so, sir?
Most certain. Sister, welcome, pray you be ever known to patience, my dearest sister.
Exeunt enter Cleopatra and Enobarbus.
I will be even with thee, doubt it not.
But why? Why?
Thou hast forspoke my being in these wars, and sayest it not fit.
Well, is it? Is it?
If not denounced against us, why should not we be there in person?
Well, I could reply, if we should serve with horse and mares together, the horse were merely lost. The mares would bear a soldier and his horse.
What is it you say?
Your presence needs must puzzle Antony. Take from his heart, take from his brain, from his time. What should not then be spared? He is already traduced for levity, and 'tis said in Rome that Photinus and Eunuch and your maids manage this war.
Sink Rome, and their tongues rot that speak against us. A charge we bear by the war, and as the president of my kingdom will appear there for a man. Speak not against it. I will not stay behind.
Nay, I have done. Here comes the emperor.
Is it not strange, Comitius, that from Tarentum and Brandisium he could so quickly cut the Ionian Sea and take in Troyne? You have heard on't, sweet?
Celerity is never more admired than by the negligent.
A good rebuke, which might well have become the best of men to taunt at slackness. Comitius, we will fight him by sea.
By sea? What else?
What, will my lord do so?
For he that dares us to it.
So hath my lord dared him to a single fight. Trying to wage this battle at Pharsalia, where Caesar fought with Pompey, but these offers, which serve not for his vantage, he shakes off, and so should you. Your ships are not well manned. Your mariners are militars, reapers, people engrossed by swift impress. In Caesar's fleet are those that often have against Pompey fought. Their ships are yar, yours heavy. No disgrace shall fall you for refusing him at sea, being prepared for land.
By sea, by sea.
Most worthy sir, you therein throw away the absolute soldiership you have by land, distract your army, which doth most consist of war-marked footmen, leave unexecuted your own renowned knowledge, quite forgo the way which promises assurance, and give up yourself merely to chance and hazard from firm security.
I'll fight at sea.
I have 60 sails. Caesar none better.
Our O+ of shipping we will burn, and with the rest full manned from the head of Acton, beat the approach of Caesar. But if we fail, we can then do it at land. Thy business.
The news is true, my lord. He is
My
descried,
lord.
Caesar.
He is
He has taken Troy.
described, Caesar. He's taken Turin.
Can he be there in person? 'Tis impossible. Strange that his power should be. Comitius, our 19 legions thou shalt hold by land, and our 12,000 horse will to ship. Away, my Thetis. How now, worthy soldier?
Oh, noble emperor, do not fight by sea. Trust not to rotten planks. Do you misdoubt this sword and these my wounds? Let the Egyptians and the Phoenicians go a-ducking. We'll have us a conqueror standing on the earth and fighting foot to foot.
Oh, well away.
By Hercules, I think I am in the right. Soldier thou art, but this whole action grows not the power on it. Our leaders lead, and we are women's men.
You keep by land, the legions and the horse hold, do you not?
Marcus Octavius, Marcus Justius, Publicola, and Celius are for sea, but we keep hold by land. This speed of Caesar's carries beyond belief.
While he was yet in Rome, his power went out in such distractions as beguiled all spies.
Who's his lieutenant, hear you?
They say one Taurus.
Ah, well, I know the man. The emperor calls Comitius with news, the time with labor, and throws forth each minute some exeunt. Enter Caesar with his army marching.
Towers,
My lord.
strike not by land. Keep hold. Provoke not battle till we have done at sea. Do not exceed the prescript of this scroll. Our fortune lies upon this jump.
Exit, enter Antony and Enobarbus.
Said we are squadrons on yon side of the hill, in the sight of Caesar's battle, from which place we may number the ships, we may the number of the ships behold, and so proceed accordingly.
Exit. Comitius marcheth with his land army one way over the stage, and Taurus, the lieutenant of Caesar, the other way. After their going in, it is heard the noise of a sea fight. Alarum, enter Enobarbus and Scarus. Not, all not, I can behold no longer. Antoniad, the Egyptian admiral with all their 60 fly and turn the rudder. To see it, mine eyes are blasted.
Gods and goddesses, all the whole synod of them.
What's thy passion?
The greater cantle of the world is lost. With very ignorance, we have kissed away kingdoms and provinces.
How appears the fight?
On our side, like the token pestilence where death is sure. Yon Ribadrid, nag of Egypt, whom leprosy o'ertake, in the midst of the fight, when vantage like a pair of twins appeared, both as the same, or rather ours the elder, the breeze upon her, like a cow in June, hoist sails and flies.
That I beheld. Mine eyes did sicken at the sight, and could not endure a further view.
She once being loofed, the noble ruin of her magic, Antony, claps on his sea wing, and like a doting mallard, leaving the fight in height, flies after her. I never saw an action of such shame. Experience, manhood, honor, ne'er before did violate so itself.
Alack, alack. Enter Comitius.
Our fortune on the sea is out of breath and sinks most lamentably. Had our general been what he knew himself, it had gone well. Oh, he has given example for our flight, most grossly by his own.
Aye, are you thereabouts? Why then, good night indeed.
Toward Peloponnesus are they fled. 'Tis easy to it, and there I will attend what further comes. To Caesar will I render my legions and my horse, 6 kings already. Show me the way of yielding.
I'll yet follow the wounded chance of Antony, though my reason sits in the wind against me.
Hark, the land bids me tread no more upon it. It is a shame to bear me. Friends, come hither. I am so laden in the world that I have lost my way forever. I have a ship laden with gold. Take that, divide it. Fly and make your peace with Caesar.
Fly? Not we.
I have fled myself and have instructed cowards to run and show their shoulders. Friends, be gone. I have myself resolved upon a course which has no need of you. Be gone. My treasure's in the harbor. Take it. Oh, I followed that I blush to look upon my very hairs do mutiny. For the white reprove the brown for rashness, and they them for fearing and doting. Friends, be gone. You shall have letters from me to some friends that will sweep your way for you. Pray you look not sad, nor make replies of loathness. Take the hint which my despair proclaims. Let them be left, which leaves itself. So to the seaside straightway. I will possess you of that ship and treasure. Leave me. I pray a little, pray you now, nay, do so. For indeed I have lost command. Therefore I pray you. I'll see you by and by.
Nay, gentle madam, to him. Comfort him.
Do, most dear queen.
Do, why? What else?
Let me sit down.
No.
See you here, sir.
Oh, fie.
Madam,
Madam, O good empress.
Sir.
Yes, my lord, yes, he is at Philippi kept his sword like a dancer, while I stroke the lean and wrinkled Cassius, and 'twas I that the mad Brutus ended. He alone dealt on lieutenantry, and no practice had in the brave squares of war. Yet now, no matter.
I stand by.
The queen, my lord, the queen.
Go to him, madam. Speak to him. He's unqualified with very shame.
Well then, sustain me. Oh,
Most noble sir, arise. The queen approaches. Her head's decline, and death will seize her, but your comfort makes the rescue.
I have offended reputation, a most unnoble swerving.
Sir, the queen.
Oh, whether thou hast led me, Egypt, see how I convey my shame. Out of thine eyes, by looking back, what I have left behind, destroyed in dishonor.
oh, my lord, my lord, forgive my fearful sails. I little thought you would have followed.
Egypt, thou knewst too well. My heart was to thy rudder tied by strings, and thou should tow me after. O my spirit, the full supremacy thou knewest, and that thy beck might from the bidding of the gods command me.
Oh, my pardon.
Now I must to the young man send humble treaties, dodge and palter in the shifts of loans, who with half the bulk of the world played as I pleased, making and marring fortunes. You did know how much you were my conqueror, and that my sword, made weak by my affection, would obey it on all cause.
Pardon.
Fall not a tear, I say. One of them rates all that is won and lost. Give me a kiss. Even this repays me. We sent our schoolmaster. Is it come back? Love, I am full of lead. Some wine within there in our viands. Fortune knows we scorn her most when most she offers blows.
Exeunt enter Caesar, Agrippa, and Dolabella with others.
Let him appear that's come from Antony. Know you him?
Caesar, 'tis his schoolmaster, and an argument that he is plucked when hither he sends so poor opinion of his wing, which had superfluous king for messengers, not many moons gone by.
Approach and speak.
Such as I am, I come from Anthony. I was of late as petty to his ends, as is the morn dew on the myrtle leaf to his grand sea.
Be it so. Declare thine office.
Lord of his fortunes, he salutes thee, and requires to live in Egypt, which not granted, he lessens his requests, and to thee sues to let him breath between the heavens and earth, a private man in Athens. This for him. Next, Cleopatra does confess thy greatness, submits her to thy might, and of thee craves the circle of the Ptolemies for her heirs. Now hazarded to thy grace.
For Antony, I have no ears to his request. The queen of audience nor desire shall fail, so she from Egypt drive her all disgraced friend, or take his life there. This, if she perform, she shall not sue unheard. So to them both.
Fortune pursue thee.
Bring him through the bands. To try thy eloquence, now 'tis time. Dispatch from Antony win Cleopatra. Promise, and in our name, what she requires. Add more from thine invention offers. Women are not in their best fortune strong, but want will perjure the ne'er touched vestal. Try thy cunning, Phidias. Make thine own edict for thy pains, which we will answer as a law.
Caesar, I go.
Observe how Antony becomes his flaw, and what thou think'st his very action speaks in every power that moves.
Caesar, I shall. Exeunt. Enter Cleopatra, Enobarbus, Charmian, and Iris.
What shall we do, Henobarbus?
Think and die.
Is Anthony or we in fault for this?
Antony only, that would make his will lord of his reason. What though you fled from that great face of war, whose several ranges frighted each other? Why should he follow? The itch of his affection should not then have nicked his captainship at such a point, when half to half the world oppose, he being the mirrored question? 'Twas a shame no less than was his loss to course your flying flags and leave his navy gazing.
Prithee, peace.
Is that his answer?
Aye, my lord.
The queen shall then have courtesy, so she will yield us up.
He says so. He says so.
Let her note. To the boy Caesar send this grizzled head, and he will fill my wishes to the brim with principalities.
That head, my lord?
To him again, tell him he wears the rose of youth upon him, from which the world should note something particular. His coin, ships, legions may be as cowards whose ministers would prevail under the service of a child. As soon as the command of Caesar, I dare him therefore to lay his gay comparisons apart and answer me declined, sword against sword, ourselves alone. I'll write it. Follow me.
Yes, like enough, high-battled Caesar will unstate his happiness and be staged to the show against a sworder. I see men's judgment are a parcel of their fortunes, and things outwards do draw the inward quality after them to suffer all alike, that he should dream, knowing all measures, the full Caesar will answer his emptiness. Caesar, thou hast subdued his judgment too.
A messenger from Caesar.
What? No more ceremony. See my women against the blow and rose. May they stop their nose that kneeled unto the buds. Admit him, sir.
Mine honesty and I begin to square. The loyalty well held to fools does make our faith mere folly. Yet he that can endure to follow with allegiance a fallen lord does conquer him that did his master conquer, and earns a place in the story. Enter Phidias.
Caesar's will.
Here depart.
None but friends. Say boldly.
So haply are they friends to Antony. Ah,
He needs as many, sir, as Caesar's has, or need not us. If Caesar please, our master will leap to be his friend. For us, you know, whose he is, we are, and that is Caesar's.
so, thus then now most renowned, Caesar entreats not to consider in what case thou standest further than he is Caesar's.
Go on, right royal.
He knows that you embrace not Antony as you did love, but as you feared him.
Oh,
The scars upon your honor, therefore, he does pity as constrained blemishes, not as deserved.
he is a god and knows what is most right. Mine honor was not yielded, but conquered merely.
To be sure of that, I will ask Antony. Sir, thou art so leaky that we must leave thee to thy sinking, for thy dearest quit thee. Exit Enobarbus. Shall I say to Caesar that you require of him, for he partly begs to be desired to give. It would much please him that of his fortunes you should make a staff to lean upon, but it would warm his spirits to hear from me you had left Antony and put yourself under his shrewd, the universal landlord.
What's your name?
My name is Phidias.
Most kind messenger, say to great Caesar this in disputation, I kiss his conquering hand. Tell him I am prompt to lay my crown at his feet and there to kneel. Tell him from his all-obeying breath, I hear the doom of Egypt.
'Tis your noblest course. Wisdom and fortune combating together, if that the former dare but what it can, no chance may shake it. Give me grace to lay my duty on your hand.
Your Caesar's father oft, when he hath mused of taking kingdoms in, bestowed his lips on that unworthy place, as it rained kisses.
Enter Antony and Enobarbus.
Favors? By the Jove that thunders, what art thou, fellow?
One that but performs the bidding of the fullest man and worthiest to have command obeyed. You will be whipped.
Approach there, you kite. Now gods and devils' authority melts from me of late. When I cry, oh, like boys unto a moose, kings would start forth and cry your will. Have you no ears? I am Antony yet. Take hence this jack and whip him.
'Tis better playing with a lion's whelp than with an old one dying.
Moon and stars whip him. Were 20 of the greatest tributaries that do acknowledge Caesar, should I find them so saucy with the hand of she here, what's her name since she was Cleopatra? Whip him, fellows, like a boy, till like a boy you see him cringe his face and whine aloud for mercy. Take him hence.
Mark Antony?
Tug him away, being whipped. Bring him again. The Jack of Caesar's the Jack of Caesar's shall bear us an errant to him. You were half blasted ere I knew you. Ha? Have I my pillow left unpressed in Rome? Forbear the getting of a lawful race, and by a gem of a woman to be abused by one that looks on feeders.
Good, my lord.
You have been a boggler ever, but when we in our viciousness grow hard, oh misery on it, the wise gods seal our eyes in our own filth, drop our clear judgments, make us adore our errors, laugh at while we strut to our confusion.
Oh, is it come to this?
I found you a morsel, cold upon dead Caesar's trencher. Nay, you were a fragment of Gnaeus Pompeius, Besides what hotter hours unregistered in vulgar fame you have luxuriously picked out. For I am sure, though you can guess what temperance should be, you know not what it is.
Wherefore is this?
To let a fellow that will take rewards and say God quit you be familiar with my playfellow, your hand, this kingly seal and plighter of high hearts. Oh, that I were upon the hill of Boson to outroar the horned herd, for I have savage cause, and to proclaim it civilly were like a halter neck, which do the hangman thank for being yare about him. Is he whipped?
Soundly, my lord.
Cried he and begged a pardon.
He did ask favor.
If that thy father live, let him repent that thou wast not made his daughter. If that thy father lived and was not that, and let him repent that thou wast not made his daughter, and be some sorry to follow Caesar in his triumph, since thou hast been whipped. For following him henceforth, the white hand of Lady Fever thee. Shake him to look on it. Get thee back to Caesar. Tell him thy entertainment. Look, thou say he makes me angry with him, for he seems proud and disdainful, harping on what I am, not what he knew I was. He makes me angry, and at this time most easy 'tis to do it. When my good stars that were my former guides have left their orbs and shot their fires into the abysm of hell. If he mislike my speech and what is done, tell him he has Hipparchus, my enfranchised bondman, whom he may at pleasure whip or hang or torture, as he shall like to quit me. Urge it thou, hence with thy stripes, be gone.
Have you done yet?
Alack, our terrene moon is now eclipsed, and it portends alone the fall of Antony.
Must I stay this time?
To flatter Caesar, would you mingle eyes with one that ties his points?
Not know me yet.
Cold-hearted towards me.
By the way, the community center has also announced earlier today that
I do, if it be so. From my cold heart, let heaven engender hail and poison it in the source, and the first stone drop in my neck as it determines so dissolve my life. The next Caesarean smile, till by degrees the memory of my womb, together with my brave Egyptians all by the discandering of this pelleted storm, lie graveless sealed till the flies and gnats of Nile have buried them for prey.
I am satisfied. Caesar sets down in Alexandria, where I will oppose his fate. Our force by land hath nobly held. Our severed navy too hath knit again, and fleet, threatening, most sea-like. Where hast thou been, my heart? Where hast thou been, my heart? Dost thou hear, lady? If from the field I shall return once more to kiss these lips, I will appear in blood. I and my sword will carry our chronicle. There's hope in it yet.
That's my brave lord.
I will be treble-sinewed, hearted, breathed, and fight maliciously. For when mine hours were nice and lucky, men did ransom lives of me for jests. But now I'll set my teeth and send to darkness all that stop me. Come, let's have one other gaudy night. Call to me all my sad captains. Fill our bowls once more. Let's mock the midnight bell.
It is my birthday. I had thought to have held it poor. Since my lord is Antony again, I will be Cleopatra.
We will yet do well.
Call his noble captains to my lord.
Do so. We'll speak to them. And tonight I'll force the wine peep through their scars. Come on, my queen. There's sap in it yet. The next time I do fight, I'll make death love me, for I will contend even with this pestilent scythe, even with his pestilent scythe.
Exeunt. Now he'll outstare the lightning. To be furious is to be frighted out of fear, and in that mood the dove will pack the ostrich. And I see still a diminution in our captain's brain, restores his heart. When valor prays in reason, it eats the sword it fights with. I will seek some way to leave him. Exeunt. Enter Caesar Agrippa Maecenas with Caesar reading the letter.
He calls me boy, and chides as he had power to beat me out of Egypt. My messenger he hath whipped with rods, dares me to personal combat. Caesar, to Antony, let the old ruffian know I have many other ways to die. Meantime, laugh at his challenge.
Caesar must think, when one so great begins to rage, he's haunted even to falling, give no breath, but now make boot of his distraction. Never anger made good guard for itself.
Let our best heads know that tomorrow, the last of many battles we mean to fight. Within our files there are of those that serve Mark Antony, but late, enough to fetch him in. See it done, and feast the army. We have store to do it, and they have earned the waste. Poor Antony.
Exeunt. Enter Antony, Cleopatra, Barnabas, Charmian, Iris, Alexis with others.
You will not fight with me, Domitian.
No.
Why should he not?
He thinks being 20 times of better fortune, he is 20 men to one.
Tomorrow, soldier, by sea and land, I'll fight, or I will live or bathe my dying honor in the blood shall make it live again. Wilt thou fight well?
I'll strike and cry, take all.
Well said. Come on, call forth my household servants. Let's tonight be bounteous at our meal. Give me thy hand. Thou hast been rightly honest. So hast thou, and thou, and thou. You have served me well, and kings have been your fellows.
Cleopatra. What means this? 'Tis one of those odd tricks which sorrow shoots out of the mind.
And thou art honest too. I wish I could be made so many men and all of you clapped together in as Antony, that I might do you service so good as you have done.
The gods
forbid.
Well, my good fellows, wait on me tonight. Scant not my cups, and make as much of me as when mine empire was your fellow too, and suffered my command.
What does he mean?
To make his followers weep.
Tend me tonight. Maybe it is the period of your duty. Happily you shall not see me more, or if a mangled shadow. Perchance tomorrow you'll serve another master. I look on you as one who takes his leave. Mine honest friends, I turn you not away, but like a master married to your good service, stay till death. Tend me tonight 2 hours. I ask no more, and the gods yield you for it.
What mean you, sir, to give them this discomfort? Look, they weep, and I, an ass, am onion-eyed for shame. Transform us not to women.
Now the witch take me if I meant it thus. Grace grows where those drops fall, my hearty friends. take me into dolorous ascents, for I spake to you for your comfort, to desire you to burn this night with torches. No, my hearts, I hope well of tomorrow, and will lead you where rather I'll expect victorious life than death, and ground consideration.
Exeunt. Enter a company of soldiers.
Rather, good night. Tomorrow is the day.
It will determine one way. Fare you well. Heard you of nothing strange about the streets?
Nothing. What news?
Belike 'tis but a rumor. Good night to you.
Well, sir, good night.
Soldiers, have careful watch.
And you, good night, good night. Here we.
And if tomorrow our navy thrive, I have an absolute hope our landmen will stand up.
'Tis a brave army and full of purpose.
Peace, what noise?
List, list!
Here, hark!
Music in the air.
Under the earth.
It signs well, does it not?
No,
Peace, I say. What should this mean?
'tis the god Hercules whom Antony loved. Now leave him.
Walk. Let's see if other watchmen do hear what we do.
How now, masters?
How now? How now?
What do you hear?
Do you hear this? What do you hear? Isn't it not strange?
Do you hear, masters? Do you hear?
Follow the noise so far as we have quarter. Let's see how it will give off.
Oh, 'tis strange.
Exeunt. Enter Antony Cleopatra with others.
Eros, mine armor, Eros.
Sleep a little.
No, my chuck. Eros, come, mine armor. Eros, come, good fellow, put thine iron on. If fortune be not ours today, it is because we brave her. Come.
Nay, I'll help too, Anthony. What's this for? Let it be, let be. Thou art the armorer of my heart. False, false. This, sooth-law, I'll help. Thus it must be.
Well, we shall thrive now. Seest thou, my good fellow? Go, put on thy defenses.
Briefly, sir.
Is not this buckled well?
Rarely, rarely, he that unbuckles this, till we do please to daft our repose, shall hear a storm. Thou fumblest, Eros, and my queen a squire more tight than this, and my queen's a squire more tight than this than thou. Dispatch, O love, that thou couldst see my wars today, and noosed the royal occupation, that thou should see a workman in it.
Enter an armed soldier.
Oh, sorry. Good morrow to thee. Welcome. Thou lookst like him that knows a warlike charge. To business that we love. Let's rise betime, and go to it with delight.
1,000, sir, early though it be, have on their riveted trim, and at the port expect you.
Shout, trumpets flourish, enter captains and soldiers. The morn is fair. Good morrow, General.
Good morrow, General.
'Tis well blown, lads. This morning, like the spirit of a youth that means to be of note, begin betimes. So. Come, give me that, this way, self-said. Fare thee well, dame. Whate'er becomes of me, this is a soldier's kiss. Rebukable and worthy shameful check it were, to stand on more mechanic compliment. I'll leave thee. Now, like a man of steel, you that will fight, follow me close. I'll bring you to it. Adieu.
Please, you retire to your chamber.
Lead me. He goes forth gallantly, that he and Caesar might determine this great war in single fight. Then Anthony, but now, well, on.
Exeunt. Trumpet sound. Enter Antony and Eros.
The gods make this a happy day to Anthony.
Would thou and those thy scars had once prevailed to make me fight at land.
Hadst thou done so, the kings that have revolted and the soldiers that have this morning left thee would have still followed at thy heels.
Who's gone this morning?
Who? One ever near thee. Call for Enobarbarus. He shall not hear thee, but from Caesar's camp say I am none of thine.
What sayst thou?
Sir, he is with Caesar, sir. His chests and treasures he has not with him.
Is he gone?
Most certain.
Go, Eros. Send his treasure after. Do it. Detain no jot, I charge thee. Write to him I will subscribe gentle adieus, and greetings say that I wish he never find more cause to change a master. Oh, my fortunes have corrupted honest men. Dispatch Enobarbus.
Exit, flourish, enter Agrippa, Caesar with Enobarbus and Dolabella.
Go forth, Agrippa, and begin the fight. Our will is Antony be took alive. Make it so known.
Caesar, I shall.
The time of universal peace is near. Prove this a prosperous day. The three-nooked world shall bear the olive freely.
Antony is come into the field.
Go charge, Agrippa. Plant those that have revolted in Levant, that Antony may seem to spend his fury upon himself.
Alexis did revolt and went to Jewry on affairs of Antony, and there did dissuade great Herod to incline himself to Caesar and leave his master Antony. For this pains Caesar hath hanged him. Commendius and the rest that fell away have entertainment, but no honorable trust. I have done ill, of which I do accuse myself so sorely that I will joy no more.
Enobarbus, Antony, hath after thee sent all thy treasure, with his bounty overplus. The messenger came on my guard, and at thy tent is now unloading of his mules.
I give it you.
Mock not, Enobarbus. I tell you true, best you safed the bringer out of the host. I must attend mine office, or would have done'st myself. Your emperor continues still a Jove.
I am alone, the villain of the earth, and feel I am so most. Oh, Antony, thou mine of bounty, how wouldst thou have paid my better service when my turpitude thou dost so crown with gold? This blows my heart. If swift thought break it not, a swifter mean shall outstrike thought, but thought will do it. I feel. I fight against thee? No. I will go seek some ditch wherein to die. The foulest best fits my latter part of life. Exit.
Retire. We have engaged ourselves too far. Caesar himself has work, and our oppression exceeds what we expected.
Alarums, enter Antony and Scaurus wounded.
Oh, my brave emperor, this is fought indeed. Had we done so at first, we had driven them home with clouts about their heads.
Thou bleedst apace.
I had a wound here that was like a T, but now 'tis made an H.
They do retire.
We'll beat 'em into bench holes. I have yet room for 6 scotches more.
They are beaten, sir, and our advantage serves for a fair victory.
Let us score their backs and snatch 'em up. As we take hares behind, 'tis a sport to maul a runner.
I will reward thee for thy sprightly comfort, and tenfold for thy good valor. Come on, Come thee on.
I'll halt after.
We have beat him to his camp. Run one before and let the queen know of our guests. Tomorrow before the sun shall see us, we'll spill the blood that has today escaped. I thank you all, for doughty handed are you, and have fought not as you served the cause, but as had been each man like mine. You have shown all Hectors. Enter the city, clip your wives, your friends, tell them your feats, while they with joyful tears wash the congealment from your wounds and kiss the honored gashes whole. Give me thy hand. To this great fairy I'll commend thy acts. Make her thanks bless thee. O thou day of the world, chain mine armed neck, leap thou, attire and all, through proof of harness to my heart, and there ride on the pants triumphing.
Lord of Lords, O infinite virtue, comest thou smiling from the world's great snare, uncaught.
My nightingale, we have beat them to their beds. What girl through gray do something mingle with our younger brown, yet have we a brain that nourishes our nerves and can get goal for goal of youth. Behold this man, commend unto his lips thy favoring hand. Kiss it, my warrior. He hath fought today as a god in hate of mankind hath destroyed in such a shape.
I'll give thee, friend, an armor of all gold.
He has
It was
deserved.
King's.
He has
Sorry.
deserved. Were it carbuncled like holy Phoebus' car. Give me thy hand. Through Alexandria make a jolly march. Bear our hacked targets like the men we owe them. Had our great palace the capacity to camp this host, we would all sup together and drink carouses to the next days. Fate, which promises royal peril, trumpeters with brazen din, blast you the city's care, make mingle with our rattling tambourines, that heaven and earth may strike their sounds together, applauding our approach.
Exeunt. Enter a sentry and his company. Enobarbus follows.
If we be not relieved within this hour, we must return to the court of guard. The night is shiny, and they say we shall embattle by the second hour in the morn.
This last day was a shrewd one's too.
Oh, bear me witness, knight.
What man is this?
Stand close and list him.
Be witness to me, O thou blessed moon, when men revolted shall upon record bear hateful memory, poor Enobarbus did before thy face repent.
Enobarbus.
Peace, hark further.
Oh, sovereign mistress of true melancholy, the poisonous damp of air dispunge upon me, that life, a very rebel to my will, may hang no longer on me. Throw my heart against the flint and hardness of my fault, which being dried with grief will break to powder and finish all foul thoughts. Oh, Antony, nobler than my revolt is infamous. Forgive me in thine own particular, but let the world rank me and register a master leaver and a fugitive. Oh, Antony! Oh, Antony!
Let's speak to him.
Let's hear him, for the things he speaks may concern Caesar.
Let's do so, but he sleeps.
Swoons, rather, for so bad a prayer as his was never yet for sleep.
Go we to him.
Awake, sir! Awake! Speak to us!
Hear you, sir?
The hand of death has wrought him. Hark! The drums! Demurely wake the sleepers. Let us bear him to the court of guard. He is of note. Our hour is fully out.
Come on then, he may recover yet.
Their preparation is today by sea. We please them not by land.
For both, my lord.
I would they'd fight at the fire or in the air. We'd fight there too. But this, our foot upon the hills adjoining to the city, shall stay with us. Order for sea is given that they have put forth the haven, where their appointments we may best discover and look on their endeavor.
But being charged, we will be still by land, which as I take it we shall, for his best force is to forth to man his galleys to the vales and hold our best advantage.
Alarm, afar off as at a sea fight, enter Antony and Scarus.
Yet they are not joined where yond pine does stand. I shall discover all. I'll bring thee word straight how 'tis like to go.
Swallows have built in Cleopatra's sails their nests. The augurers say they know not, they cannot tell. Look grimly and dare not speak their knowledge. Antony is valiant and dejected, and by starts his fretted fortunes give him hope and fear of what he has and has not.
All is lost. The foul Egyptian has betrayed me. My fleet hath yielded to the foe, and yonder they cast their caps up and carouse together like friends long lost. Triple-turned whore, 'tis thou hast sold me to this novice, and my heart makes only wars on thee. Bid them all fly, for when I am revenged upon my charm, I have done all. Bid them fly, all be gone. O sun, thou uprise, I shall see thee no more. Fortune and Antony part here. Even here, do we shake hands? All come to this? The heart that paneled me at heels, at whom I gave their wishes, I do discandle. Melt their sweets on blossoming Caesar. And this pine is barked that o'ertop them all. Betrayed I am. Oh, this false soul of Egypt, this grave charm whose eye becked forth my wars and called them home, whose bosom was my crownet, my chief end, like a right gypsy, hath it fast and loose beguiled me to the very heart of loss. What, Eros, Eros? Ah, thou spell, avaunt.
Why is my lord enraged against his love?
Vanish, or I shall give thee thy deserving and blemish Caesar's triumph. Let him take thee and hoist thee up to the shouting plebeians. Follow his chariot like the greatest spot of all thy sex. Most monster-like be shown for poor diminutives, for dolts, and let the patient Octavia plow thy visage up with her prepared nails. 'Tis well thou'rt gone, if it be well to live, but better 'twere thou fell'st into thy fury, for one death might have prevented many. Eros, ho! The shirt of Nessus is upon me. Teach me, Alcides, thou mine ancestor, thy rage. Let me lodge Lycius, let me lodge Lycus on the horns of the moon, and with those hands that grasp the heaviest club, subdue my worthy self. This witch shall die. To the young Roman boy she hath sold me, and I fall under this plot. She dies for it. Eros, ho!
Exit, enter Cleopatra, Charmian, Iris, Mardia.
Help me, my women. Oh, he's more mad than Telamon for his shield. The boar of Thessaly was never so embossed.
To the monument, there lock yourself and send him word you are dead. The soul and body rise not more in parting than greatness going off.
To the monument. Mardian, go tell him I have slain myself. Say that the last I spoke was Anthony, and word it prithee piteously. Hence Mardian, and he takes my death to the monument.
Exeunt, enter Antony and Eros.
Eros, thou yet behold me?
Aye, noble lord.
Sometimes we see a cloud that's dragonish, a vapor sometime, like a bear or a lion, a towered citadel, a pendant rock, a forked mountain, or blue promontory with trees upon it that nod unto the world and mock our eyes with air. Thou hast seen these signs, they are black Vespers pageants.
Aye, my lord.
That which is now a horse, even with the thought of the rack dislimes, and makes it indistinct as water in water.
It does, my lord.
My good knave Eros, now thy captain is even such a body. Here I am, Antony, yet cannot hold this visible shape, my knave. I made these wars for Egypt and the queen, whose heart I thought I had, for she had mine, which whilst it was mine, I had annexed unto it 1,000,000 more now lost. A she Eros has packed cards with Caesar's, and false played my glory unto an enemy's triumph. Nay, weep not, gentle Eros, there is left us ourselves to end ourselves. Oh, thy vile lady, she has robbed me of my sword.
No, Antony, my mistress loved thee, and her fortunes mingled with thine entirely.
Hence, saucy eunuch, peace. She hath betrayed me and shall die the death.
Death of one person can be paid but once, and that she has discharged. What thou wouldst do is done unto thy hand. The last she spake was Antony, most noble Antony. Then in the midst a tearing groan did break the name of Antony. It was divided between her heart and lips. She tendered life, thy name so buried in her.
Dead then?
Dead.
Unarm, Eros. The long day's task is done, and we must sleep. That thou departest hence safe, does pay thy labor richly. Go, off, pluck off the sevenfold shield of Ajax, cannot keep thee the battery from my heart. Oh, cleave my sides, heart. Once be stronger than thy continent, crack thy fragile case. Apace, Eros, apace. No more a soldier. Bruised pieces go. You have been nobly born. For me a while, or take thee Cleopatra. For me a while, I will o'ertake thee, Cleopatra, and weep for my pardon. So must it be, for now all length is torture, since the torch is out. Lie down and stray no further. Now all labor mars what it does. Yea, the very force entangles itself with strength. Seal then, and all is done. Eros, I come, my queen. Eros, stay for me. Where souls do couch on flowers, we I hand in hand, and with our sprightly port make the ghosts gaze. Dido and her Aeneas shall want troops, and all the haunt be ours. Come, Eros, Eros.
What would, my lord?
Since Cleopatra died, I have lived in such dishonor that the gods detest my business. I that with my sword quartered the world, and o'er green Neptune's back with ships, made cities, condemn myself to lack the courage of a woman, less noble mind than she, which by her death our Caesar tells I am conqueror of myself. Thou art sworn, Eros, that when the exigent should come, which now is come indeed, when I should see behind me the inevitable prosecution of disgrace and horror, that on my command then wouldst thou kill me. Do it, the time is come. Thou strikest not me, 'tis Caesar thou defeatst. Put color in thy cheek.
Oh, the gods withhold me. Shall I do that which all the Parthian dots, though enemy, lost to Ammon could not?
Eros, would thou be windowed in great Rome and see thy master with bleached armies bend down his corrigible neck, his face subdued to penetrative shame, whilst the wheeled seat of fortunate Caesar, drawn before him, branded his baseness that ensued?
I would not see it.
Come then, for with a wound I must be cured. Draw thy honest sword, which thou hast worn, most useful for thy country.
Oh, sir, pardon me.
When I did make thee free, sworest not then to do this when I bade thee? Do it at once, or thy precedent services are all but accidents, unpurposed. Draw and come.
Turn from me then that noble countenance wherein the worship of the whole world lies.
Lo thee.
My sword is drawn.
Then let us do it at once, this thing which thou hast drawn it.
My dear master, my captain, my emperor, let me say before I strike this bloody stroke, farewell.
'Tis said, man, and farewell.
Farewell, great chief.
Now,
Shall I strike now?
now, Eros.
Why there then. Thus do I escape the sorrow of Antony's death.
Thrice nobler than myself. Thou teachest me, O valiant Eros, what I should, and thou couldst not. My queen and Eros have by their brave instructions got upon me a nobleness in record. But I will be a bridegroom in my death, and run into it as to a lover's bed. Come then, and Eros, thy master, dies thy scholar. To do thus I learned of thee. How not dead? How not dead? Not dead. The guard, how? Oh, dispatch me.
What's the noise?
I have done my work ill. Friends, oh, make an end of what I have begun.
The star has fallen, and time is at his period. Alas and woe.
Let him that loves me strike me dead.
Not I,
Nor I.
nor anyone.
Thy death and fortunes bid thy followers fly. This sword, but shown to Caesar with this tidings, shall enter me with him. Enter Diomedes. Where's Antony? There, Diomed, there. Lives he? Wilt thou not answer, man?
Art thou there, Diomed? Draw thy sword and give me sufficing strokes for death.
Most absolute Lord, my mistress Cleopatra sent me to thee.
When did she send thee?
Now, my lord,
Where is she?
locked in her monument, she had a prophesizing fear of what hath come to pass. For when she saw, which never shall be found, you did suspect she had disposed with Caesar, and that your rage would not be purged. She sent you word she was dead. But fearing since how it might work, hath sent me to proclaim the truth. And I am come, I dread, too late.
Too late, good Diomed. Call my guard, I prithee.
What ho, the emperor's guard! The guard, what ho! Come, your lord calls.
Enter 4 or 5 of the guard of Antony.
Bear me, good friends, where Cleopatra bides. 'Tis the last service I shall command you.
Woe are we, sir. You may not live to wear all your true followers out.
Most heavy day.
Nay, my good fellows, do not please sharp fate to grace it with your sorrows. Bid that welcome which comes to punish us, and we punish it, seeming to bear it lightly. Take me up. I have led you oft. Carry me now, good friends, and have my thanks for all.
Exit bearing Antony. Enter Cleopatra and her maids aloft with Charmian and Iris.
O Charmian, I will never go from hence.
Comforted, dear madam.
No, I will not. All strange and terrible events are welcome, but comforts we despise. Our size of sorrow proportioned to our cause must be as great as that which makes it. How now? Is he dead?
His death's upon him, but not dead. Look out to the other side your monument. His guard hath brought him thither.
O son, burn the great spear thou movest in, darkling stand the varying shore of the world. Oh, Antony, 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 help Charmian, help Eros, help, help friends below. Let's draw him thither, let's draw him hither.
Peace. Not Caesar's valor hath o'erthrown Antony, but Antony's hath triumphed on itself.
So it should be that none but Antony should conquer Antony, but woe 'tis so.
I am dying, Egypt. Only I hear importune death awhile, until of many thousand kisses the poor last I lay upon thy lips.
I dare not, dear, dear my lord, pardon. I dare not, lest I be taken, nor the imperious shrew of the full fortuned Caesar ever shall be broached with me. If knife, drugs, serpents have edge, sting, or operation, I am safe. Your wife, Octavia, with her modest eyes and still conclusion, shall acquire no honor demurring upon me. But come, come, Antony, help me, my women. We must draw thee up. Assist, good friends.
Oh, quick, or I am gone.
Here's sport indeed. How heavy weighs my lord. Our strength is all gone into heaviness that makes the weight. Had I great Juno's power, the strong-winged Mercury should fetch thee up and set thee by Jove's aside. Yet come a little. Wishes were ever fools. Oh, come, come, come. And welcome, welcome. Die when thou hast lived. Quicken with kissing. Had my lips that power, Thus would I wear them out.
Heavy
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 sight.
sight.
I am dying, Egypt, dying. Give me some wine and let me speak a little.
No, let me speak, and let me rail so high that the false huswife Fortune break her wheel, provoked by my offense.
One word, sweet queen. Of Caesar seek your honor with your safety. Oh,
They do not go together.
gentle, hear me. None about Caesar, but Proculius.
My resolution and my hands I'll trust, none but Caesar.
The miserable change now at my end, lament not sorrow at, but please your thoughts in feeding them with those my former fortunes wherein I live. The greatest prince of the world, the noblest, and do now not basely die, not cowardly put off my helmet to my countrymen, a Roman by a Roman, valiantly vanquished. Now my spirit is going. I can do no more.
Noblest of men, wouldst die? Hast thou no care of me? Shall I abide in this dull world, which in thy absence is no better than a sty? Oh, see my women, the crown of the earth doth melt. My lord, oh, with it is the garland of the war, the soldier's pole is fallen. Young boys and girls are level now with men. The odds is gone, and there is nothing left remarkable beneath the visiting moon.
Oh, quietness, lady.
She's dead too, our sovereign.
Lady?
Madam?
Madam? Madam? Madam?
Royal Egypt, Empress!
Peace. Peace, Iris.
No more but in a woman, and commanded by such poor passion as the maid that milks, that does the meanest chars. If it were for me to throw my scepter at the injurious gods, to tell them that this world did equal theirs till they had stolen our jewel. All's but naught. Patience is sottish, and impatience does become a dog that's mad. Then is it sin to rush into the secret house of death ere death dare come to us? How do you, women? What good cheer? Why, how now, Charmian? My noble girls? Ah, women. Look, our lamp is spent. It's out. Good sirs, take heart. We'll bury him. And then, what's brave, what's noble, let's do it after the high Roman fashion and make death proud to take us. Come away. This case of that huge spirit now is cold. Oh, women, come. We have no friend but resolution and the briefest end.
exeunt, bearing of Antony's body. Enter Caesar, Agrippa, Dolabella, Venus, with his council of war.
Go to him, Dolabella. Bid him yield, being so frustrate. Tell him he mocks the pause that he makes.
Caesar, I shall.
Enter Decretus with the sword of Antony.
Wherefore is that? And what art thou that darest appear thus to us?
I am called Decretus. Mark Antony I served, who best was worthy, best to be served. Whilst he stood up and spoke, he was my master, and I wore my life to spend upon his haters. If thou please to take me to thee as I was to him, I'll be to Caesar. If thou please not, I yield thee up my life.
What is thou sayest?
I say, O Caesar, Antony is dead.
The breaking of so great a thing should make a greater crack. The round world should have shook lions into civil streets and citizens to their dens. The death of Antony is not a single doom. In the name lay a moiety of the world.
He is dead, Caesar, not by public minister of justice, nor by a hired knife, but that self-hand which writ his honor in the axe it did, hath with the courage which the heart did lend it, splitted the heart. This is his sword, I robbed his wound of it. Behold it stained with his most noble blood.
Look you, sad friends, the gods rebuke me, but it is tidings to wash the eyes of kings.
And strange it is that nature must compel us to lament our most persistent deeds.
Taints and honors waged equal with them.
A rarer spirit never did sear humanity, but you, gods, will give us some faults to make us men. Caesar is touched.
With such a spacious mirror set before him, he must needs see him himself.
Oh, Antony, I have followed thee to this, but we do lunch diseases in our bodies. I must perforce have shown to thee such a declining day, or look on thine. We could not stall together in the whole world. But yet let me lament with tears, as sovereign as the blood of hearts, that thou, my brother, my competitor, in top of all design, my mate in empire, friend and companion in the front of war, the arm of mine own body, and the heart where mine his thoughts did kindle, that our stars unreconcilable should divide our equalness to this. Hear me, good friends, but I will tell you at some meeter season. The business of this man looks out of him. We'll hear him what he says. Whence are you?
A poor Egyptian yet, the queen, my mistress, confined in all, she has her monument of thy intense desires instruction, that she preparedly may frame herself to the way she's forced to.
Bid her have good heart. She soon shall know of us, by some of ours, how honorable and how kindly we determine for her. For Caesar cannot leave to be ungentle.
So the gods preserve thee.
Come hither, Proculaus. Go and say we purpose her no shame. Give her what comforts the quality of her passion shall require, lest in her greatness by some mortal stroke she do defeat us. For her life in Rome would be eternal in our triumph. Go, and with your speediest bring us what she says and how you find of her.
Caesar, I shall.
Gallus, go you along. Where's Dolabella to second Proculaus? Dolabella? Let him alone, for I remember now how he's employed. He shall in time be ready. Go with me to my tent, where you shall see how hardly I was drawn into this war, how calm and gentle I proceeded still in all my writings. Go with me, and see what I can show in this.
Exeunt enter Cleopatra, Charmian, Iris, and Mardian.
My dissolution does begin to make a better life. 'Tis paltry to be Caesar. Not being fortune, he's but fortune's knave, a minister of her will. And it is great to do that thing that ends all other deeds, which shackles accidents and bolts up change, which sleeps and never collates more the dung, the beggar's nurse and Caesar's.
Enter Proculaeus. Caesar sends greetings to the Queen of Egypt and bids thee study what fair demands thou meanst to have him grant thee.
What's thy name?
My name is Proculaeus.
Antony did tell me of you, bade me trust you, but I do not greatly care to be deceived, that have no use for trusting. If your master would have a queen his beggar, you must tell him that majesty to keep decorum must no less beg than a kingdom. If he please to give me conquered Egypt for my son, he gives me so much of mine own, as I will kneel to him with thanks.
Be of good cheer. You are fallen into a princely hand. Fear nothing. Make your full reference freely to my lord, who is so full of grace that it flows over of all that need. Let me report to him your sweet dependency, and you shall find a conqueror that will pray in aid for kindness, where he for grace is kneeled to.
Pray you tell him I am his fortune's vassal, and I send him the greatness he has got. I hourly learn a doctrine of obedience and would gladly look him in the face.
This I'll report, dear lady. Have comfort, for I know your plight is pitied of him that caused it. You shall see how easily she may be surprised. Guard her till Caesar come.
Royal Queen.
Cleopatra, thou art taken, queen.
Quick, quick, good hands.
Hold, worthy lady, hold. Do not yourself such wrong, who are in this relieved but not betrayed.
What of death too that rids our dogs of languish?
Cleopatra, do not abuse my master's bounty by the undoing of yourself. Let the world see his nobleness well acted, which your death will never let come forth.
Where art thou, death? Come hither, come, 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 and take a queen worth many babes and beggars.
Oh, temperance, lady.
Sir, I will eat no meat, I'll not drink, sir. If idle talk will once be necessary, I'll not sleep neither. This mortal house I'll ruin. Do Caesar what he can. Know, sir, that I will not wait unpinioned at your master's court, nor once be chastised with the sober eye of dull Octavia. Shall they hoist me up and shew me to the shooting Balotari of censoring Rome? Rather a ditch in Egypt. Be gentle, grave unto me, rather on Nilus mud lay me stark naked, and let the water flies blow me into abhorring. Rather make my country's high pyramids my gibbet, and hang me up in chains.
You do extend these thoughts of horror further than you shall find cause in Caesar.
Proculaeus, what thou hast done thy master Caesar knows, and he hath sent for thee. For the queen, I'll take it to my God.
So, Dolabella, it shall content me best. Be gentle to her. To Caesar I will speak what you shall please, if you'll employ me to him.
Say I would die.
Most noble empress, you have heard of me?
I cannot tell.
Assuredly you know me.
No matter, sir, what I have heard or known, you laugh when boys or women tell their dreams. Is it not your trick?
I understand not, madam.
I dreamt there was an Emperor Antony. Oh, such another sleep, that I might see but such another man.
If it might please ye.
His face was as the heavens, and therein stuck a sun and moon, which kept their course and lighted the little of the earth.
Most sovereign creature.
His legs bestrid the ocean. His reared arm crested the world. His voice was propertied as all the tuned spears, and that to friends. But when he meant to quail and shake the orb, he was as rattling thunder. For his bounty, there was no winter in it. And Antony it was that grew the more by reaping. His delights were dolphin-like. They shoot the back above the element they lived in. In his livery walked crowns and crownettes. Realms and islands were as plates dropped from his pocket.
Cleopatra.
Think you there was or might be such a man as this I dreamt of?
Gentle madam, no.
You lie up to the hearing of the gods. But if there be not ever were one such, it's past the size of dreaming. Nature wants stuff to vie strange forms with fancy, yet to imagine an Antony were nature's peace against fancy, condemning shadows quite.
Hear me, good madam, your loss is as yourself, great. And you bear it as answering to the weight, would I might never or take pursued success, but I do feel by the rebound of yours a grief that suits my very heart at root.
I thank you, sir. Know you what Caesar means to do with me?
I am loath to tell you what. Would you knew?
Nay, pray you, sir.
Though he be honorable,
He'll lead me then in triumph.
madam, he will, I know it.
Leave you, sir, but I did not vote for you, and I'll tell you why. Because I have been wrong about all night long.
Something happened.
Caesar? Make way there for Caesar.
One moment. Which is the Queen of Egypt?
It is the
It
emperor.
is the emperor, madam.
Arise, you shall not kneel. I pray you rise, rise, Egypt.
Sir, the gods will have it thus. My master and my lord, I must obey.
Take to you no hard thoughts the record of what injuries you did us. Though written in our flesh, we shall remember as things but done by chance.
Soul, sir, of the world, I cannot project mine own cause so well to make it clear, but do confess I have been laden with like frailties, which before have often shamed our sex.
Cleopatra, no, we will extenuate rather than enforce if you apply yourself to our intents, which toward you are most gentle. You shall find a benefit in this change. But if you seek to lay on me a cruelty by taking Antony's course, you shall bereave yourself of my good purposes and put your children to that destruction which I'll guard them from if thereon you rely. I'll take my leave.
And may through all the world 'tis yours, and we your scutcheons and your signs of conquest shall hang in what place you please. Here, my good lord.
You shall advise me in all for Cleopatra.
This is the brief of money, plate, and jewels I am possessed of. 'Tis exactly veil wed, not petty things admitted. Where's Seleucus?
Here, madam.
This is my treasurer. Let him speak, my lord. Upon his peril that I have reserved to myself nothing. Speak the truth, Seleucus.
Madam, I'd rather seal my lips than to my peril speak that which is not.
What have I kept back?
Enough to purchase what you have made known.
Nay, blush not, Cleopatra. I approved your wisdom in the deed.
See, Caesar? Oh, behold, how pomp is followed. Mine will now be yours, and should we shift estates, yours would be mine. The ingratitude of this Seleucus does even make me wild. O slave of no more trust than love that's hired, what goest thou back? Ye shall go back, I warrant thee, but I'll catch thine eyes, though they had wings. Slave, solacey, villain, dog who rarely base.
Good queen, let us entreat you.
O Caesar, what a wounding shame is this, that thou vouchsafing here to visit me, doing the honor of my lord Linus, to one so meek that mine own servant should parcel the summon of my disgraces by addition of his envy. Say, good Caesar, that I some lady trifles have reserved, in moment toys, things of such dignity as we greet modern friends withal, and say some nobler token I have kept apart for Livia and Octavia, to induce their meditation, must I be unfolded with one that I have bred. The gods! It smites me beneath the fall I have. Prithee, go hence, or I shall shew the cinders of my spirits through the ashes of my chance. Wert thou a man, thou wouldst have mercy on me.
Forbear, Seleucus.
Be it known that we the greatest are misthought for things that others do, and when we fall, we answer others' merits. In our name are therefore to be pitied.
Cleopatra, not what you have reserved, nor what acknowledged put we in the roll of conquest. Still be it yours. Bestow it at your pleasure, and believe Caesar's no merchant to make prize with you of things that merchants sold. Therefore be cheered. Make not your thoughts your prisons. No, dear queen, for we intend so to dispose you, as yourself shall give us counsel. Feed and sleep. Our care and pity is so much upon you that we remain your friend, and so adieu.
My master and my lord.
Not so. Adieu.
Flourish, exeunt Caesar and his train.
He words me, girls. He words me that I should not be noble to myself, but hark thee, Charmian.
Finish, good lady. The bright day is done, and we are for the dark.
Hi thee again. I have spoke already, and it is provided. Go put it to the haste.
Madam, I will.
Where's the queen?
Behold, sir.
Dolabella,
Madam, as thereto sworn by your command, which my love makes religion to obey, I tell you this. Caesar through Syria intends his journey, and within 3 days you with your children will he send before. Make your best use of this. I have performed your pleasure and my promise.
Dolabella, I shall remain your debtor.
I, your servant. Adieu, good queen, I must attend on Caesar.
Farewell and thanks. Now Eros, what thinkest thou? Thou, an Egyptian puppet, shall be shown in Rome as well as I. Mechanic slaves with greasy aprons, rules, and hammers shall uplift us to the view. In their thick breaths, rank of gross diet, shall we be enclouded and forced to drink their vapor.
Gods forbid.
Nay, 'tis most certain, Eros, saucy lictors will catch at us like strumpets, and scold rhymers ballads out a tune. The quick comedians extemporarily will stage us, and presently Alexandrian revels. Antony shall be brought drunken forth, and I shall see some squeaking Cleopatra. Boy, my greatnessy, either posture of a whore.
Oh, good gods.
Nay, that's certain.
I'll never see it. I am sure mine nails are stronger than mine eyes.
Why, that's the way to fool their preparation and to conquer their most absurd intents. Now, Charmian, shew me my women like a queen. Go fetch my best attires. I am again for Sidrius to meet Mark Antony. So, Sarah, Iris, go. Now, noble Charmian, will dispatch indeed. And when thou hast done this chair, I'll give thee leave to play till doomsday. Bring out clown and all.
A noise within.
Wherefore's this noise?
Enter a guardsman. Here is a rural fellow that will not be denied your highness' presence. He brings you figs.
Let him come in. What poor an instrument may do a noble deed, he brings me liberty. My resolution's placed, and I have nothing of a woman in me. Now from head to foot I am marble constant. Now the fleeting moon, no planet is of mine.
Enter guardsman. This is the man.
Avoid and leave him. Hast thou the pretty worm of Nilus there that kills and pains not? Truly, I have him, but I would not be the party that should desire you to touch him, for his biting is immortal. Those that do die of it, do seldom or never recover. Rememberest thou any that have died once?
Very many men and women too. I heard of one of them no longer than yesterday, a very honest woman, but something given to lie, as a woman should not do, but in the way of honesty. How she died of the biting of it, what pain she felt. Truly, she makes a very good report to the worm. But he that will believe all that they say shall never be saved by half that they do. But this is most fallible. The worm's an odd worm.
Get thee hence. Farewell.
I wish you all joy of the worm.
Farewell.
You must think this, look you, that the worm will do his kind.
I farewell.
But look you, the worm is not to be trusted, but in the keeping of wise people, for indeed there is no goodness in the worm.
Take thou no care. It shall be heeded.
Very good. Give it nothing, I pray you, for it is not worth the feeding.
Will it eat me?
You must not think that I am so simple, but I know the devil himself will not eat a woman. I know that a woman is a dish for the gods. If the devil dress her not. But truly, these same Orson devils do the gods great harm in their women, for in every 10 that they make, the devil mars 5.
Well, get thee gone. Farewell.
Yes, forsooth. I wish you joy of the worm.
Give me my robe. Put on my crown. I have immortal longings in me. Now no more the ivory of Egypt's grape shall moist this lip. Yeah, good Eras, quick. Methinks I hear Antony call. I see him rouse himself to praise my noble act. I hear him mock the luck of Caesar, which the gods give men to excuse their after-wrath. Husband, I come. Now to that name, my courage prove my title. I am fire and ire. My other elements I give to baser life. So have you done? Come then, and take the last warmth of my lips. Farewell, kind Charmian, Eras, long farewell. Have I the aspic in my lips? Dost fall? If thou and nature can so gently part, the stroke of death is as a lover's pinch, which hurts and is desired. Dost thou lie still? If thus thou vanished, thou tellest the world it is not worth leave taking.
Dissolve the cloud and rain, that I may say the gods themselves do weep.
This proves me base. If she first meets the curled Antony, he'll make demand of her and speak that kiss which is my heaven to have. Come, thou mortal wretch, with thy sharp teeth this knot intrinsicate of life at once untie. Poor venomous fool, be angry and dispatch. Oh, couldst thou speak, that I might hear thee call great Caesar as unpolicied.
Eastern star.
Peace, peace. Dost thou not see my baby at my breast that sucks the nurse asleep?
Oh, break.
As sweet as balm, as soft as air, as gentle. Oh, Antony, nay, I will take thee too. What should I stay?
In this wild world, so fare thee well. Now boast thee death in thy possession lies, alas, unparalleled. Downy windows close, and golden Phoebus never so beheld of eyes again so royal. Oh, your crown's awry. I'll mend it, and then play.
Enter the guards rustling in, and Dolabella. Where's the queen?
Speak softly, wake her not.
Caesar hath sent.
Too slow a messenger. Oh, come apace, dispatch. I partly feel thee.
Approach. Oh, all's not well. Caesar's beguiled. There's Dolabella sent from Caesar. Call him. What work is here, Charmian? Is this well done?
It is well done, and fitting for a princess descendant of so many royal kings. Ah, soldier.
How goes it here?
All dead.
Caesar, thy thoughts touch their effects in this. Thyself art coming to see performed the dreaded act which thou so soughtst to hinder.
Enter Caesar and all his train marching. Away there, away for Caesar.
Oh, sir, you are too sure an augurer that you did fear is done.
Bravest at the last, she levelled at our purposes, and being royal, took her own way. The manner of their deaths, I do not see them bleed.
Who was lost with them?
A simple countryman that brought her figs. That was his basket.
Poison, then.
Oh, Caesar, this charmian lived but now. She stood and spake. I found her trimming up the diadem. On her dead mistress tremblingly she stood, and on the sudden dropped.
Oh, noble weakness. If they had swallowed poison, 'twould appear by external swelling. But she looks like sleep, as she would catch another Antony in her strong toil of grace.
Here on her breast there is a vent of blood, and something blown, the like is on her arm.
This is an aspic's trail, and these fig leaves have slime upon them, such as the aspic leaves upon the caves of Nile.
Most probable that so she died. For her physician tells me she hath pursued conclusions infinite of easy ways to die. Take up her bed, and bear her women from the monument. She shall be buried by her Antony. No grave upon the earth shall clip in it a pair so famous. High events as these strike those that make them, and their story is no less in pity than his glory which brought them to be lamented. Our army shall in solemn show attend this funeral, and then to Rome. Come, Dolabella, see high order in this great solemnity.
Exeunt omnes. Fini. Well done. Well done. Everybody can come on and yes, thank you all so much. Yes, this is a long play. So,
Yes.
but we got through it. Every word, all of them, even a few maybe mispronounced, and Proculeus and Proculius. I don't know. Well, anyways, thank you so much, Missy. How did it feel? Good job. Thank you to Missy. Thank you to Teller. Thank you to all of you for doing this. Thanks so much. So well done, Missy. And how did you feel about it?
Well, I feel that everybody's high energy, and yet they're great energy. It helped me to bring energy out of myself. Yeah, it just got, what I'm meaning is it got contagious, and I feel Paul, you helped the this session to run smoothly and in a non-stressful, fun manner, and that I like. So thank you. And everybody, I enjoyed their performing. You're all talented actors, and yeah, your performing was very contagious, and so was your energy. So well done. You're all talented.
Yes, and this is Missy from New Zealand speaking to us from the future, since it's already June 5th over there.
How you doing, Paul?
Who do we have in the audience?
Me.
Yeah, we've got Jim. I'm just gonna get your video started again. We've got Ken, and yeah, and Lulu, of course, was here as well. I don't know if she wants me to.
Well, we had a little trouble getting in, but hopefully we'll try it again for another reading.
Yeah, I'm sorry there were some problems with those things. Like Mary Lou tried to get in, and then I mean, she couldn't get back in, or she got in and she was muted and she couldn't unmute herself, and so she left. So I'm sorry about that.
I think would be a good idea though, because some of us are using our cell phones rather than computers. I would suggest that maybe the script could be appearing on the bottom of the screen, maybe like above the names of the actors and the roles that they're playing. How would you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, we sort of tried that in one thing of having a sort of shared screen, but then the thing is that it becomes difficult for the actors to see the other actors in it. And I'm not sure how well it's going to show up. I think it ended up being so small that I don't know you'd be able to see it on a phone screen.
What's in the background?
So we'll try it again another time.
We'll try and, yeah, do that. I mean, but I thought, I mean, because there were times I thought you were going to, I mean, you didn't have the script because you didn't have a copy of the script. Is that the issue?
Well, I don't have the script, so.
Okay.
Oh, but just to let you know, James, that I did upload it onto, I did upload the PDF of it onto the Facebook page where I was advertising this play reading.
I know, but what it is that I am using for my cell phone, so that's what may be a problem.
Yeah, it's tough to make this
I
work with
understand.
cell phones unless you have like another device, like a Kindle. I mean, if you have some sort of computer and something else, I can do it like I do the computer and on the computer, and I can have the text and the Zoom thing on the same thing. But anyways, I know it's very late. If anybody else has some final words they'd like to share, I really thank you all for.
Well, we'll see you again soon.
Okay.
I cut them off now.
Good night, everyone.
Well, good night, everybody. Sleep well.
Good night.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
This is a lot of fun. Good night, everyone.
All right.
Good. I had fun too.
Job.
Thanks.
So
Let
much
you all go.
for participating, and I'll let you know more about the schedule as I figure out more of it. So, but thank you for taking this on. This is a very ambitious one to begin with because there's so much in so many parts. But I really, it was great to hear you do that, and I felt. And I mean, see, one of the things I like about this is that when you work through the text and you're doing the whole text, that after a while, it starts to work on you in a way that you're not expecting it to. You know, that it's just by continuing to go through it, you continue. He words me, you know, that thing where Cleopatra says about, I'm complaining about Caesar, he words me. And I think that's what Shakespeare does to us. He sort of can put us into a place through the words. He words us. So thank you.
Wanted to say I really enjoyed the reading. I really enjoyed listening to the performance from everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So much. All right, and yeah, so Saturday we're doing Two Gents of Verona. I still haven't totally cast that. I'm sorry. And then I will figure out what we're doing next week, and onward from there. So any suggestions, any ideas, let me know. I'm also just to sort of trying to thinking if you have suggestions or thoughts or how we can handle this better. I mean, I realized I was taking a lot of stuff, but I just wanted to keep it moving. So if we could figure out some other way so that we could share those things better, I'm open to suggestions. So
I would love to put together a reading of the Scottish play.
Of what?
The Scottish play.
Oh, excuse me.
Macbeth?
On to that.
Oh,
Macbeth.
Macbeth, that's a good
Here's the
play.
connection.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is a one.
What do you think's happening?
Yeah, well, I'm going to try and do all of them on Zoom at some point, even at least once, and maybe some of them multiple times, because there are many of them that are worth doing a lot. So.
Have you ever done any classic plays like by Sophocles or Aeschylus or anything, or it's only Shakespeare?
We have done a few non-Shakespeare plays. We haven't really done too much of the Greeks. I think we did do a Lysistrata one year when there was a sort of a big thing of people doing Lysistrata as an anti-war thing. Way back in, I think maybe that was the first Iraq War. Wow.
Oh.
Yeah.
Who's playmastering Macbeth?
We haven't announced the schedule yet. Ken had indicated that he would like to play master that certain play about a certain bloody Scottish king.
And might I be Lady Macbeth?
Oh, I had already promised it to Michaela.
So anyways, before we make plans for other things,
Perhaps the nurse and Lady Macbeth?
if you have other things you want to do, you'd like to play master, let me know. We can make it happen. I do other plays. I actually am planning on doing, because we've done other ones. We've done Dr. Faustus. We've done the Spanish Tragedy. We haven't done the Greek so much, but we did a lot of other things. We've done some
Night of the Burning
Yeah.
Palace, too.
Schnitzler, the green cockatoo on Bastille Day.
Oh wow. I teach Medea. I teach a lot of the Greek plays during the year. So I would love like Antigone or Medea are things that I've taught in recent years.
Love to do
I did
Medea.
I did a play reading of Medea many years ago.
And I have some great new translations that are fantastic also.
I've read Medea, at least the first half of it, in the original Greek.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, they're amazing plays. One of the things in terms of the doing things at the library, why Shakespeare works so well, is that even for readings, for plays that are under copyright or translations that are under copyright, you really should have permission of the authors before you do the readings. That's why it's like people are like, "Oh, this is so great! Why didn't you do Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead?" And it's sort of like, yeah, well, I can't really afford that. So.
Well, I can find out about. I know some of the professors who've translated them, so I can find out what the deal is with that. But that's good to know.
I would like to play master an enemy of the people, Ibsen. I think it's very, very appropriate with all the attacks on the press.
Yeah. Well, anyways, I mean, we can, send those, email the stuff into me, and we'll do this. And I thank you so much, and we'll be working out a schedule soon, and I hope to all of you can participate again. So thank you all very much.
Thank
Good
you,
night.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Good
Thank
night.
you.
Bye.
Storms tomorrow night.
Bye-bye.
The meeting for all. Well done, Missy.
Thank you. You too. Thank you.
Good night, everyone.